Well, hello everyone. Hello, welcome to the Synth Geekery show, and it's almost just about ready to hit the hour. About a minute to go. I'm a tiny little bit early. Early bird catches the worm, as they say in the classics. How are you guys? Good to see you all jumping in the chat already. I think there's a couple of people so far. So yeah, let us know if you can hear me in the audio. We've got some technical stuff that I want to go through about the show today. There's some kind of new features that is going to be fun to play with, and you guys might get on board with it. You may not. It's all cool if you do or you don't. Let's just double check audio's coming through. It should be. It says it is. I just always like that confirmation from you guys. Just waiting. Martin Taylor's there. Just waiting for the chatties. Okay, so sounds good. Right, beautiful. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, well, the show this week is going to be about Subscriber Studios. We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. I have got a reasonable amount of submissions that have come in through the week, but personally, I think there could have been more. But that's okay. We can persevere with that. As the guys come in, we got some guests arriving. I'm just going to go through a little kind of new feature that I've been playing with during the week. I don't know how well this is going to work, but let's talk about it anyway. If you guys, as you guys know, we do the Discord stuff, and I'm just trying to find out where the Discord thing went. There it is there. If I press that button there, as you guys know, we've got the Discord server below. If you're not part of Discord, that's cool. You don't have to be. It's free. It's not a bad thing. It's like not bombarding you with ads during the week and all that sort of stuff. But it is a way that you can chat to me and everyone else that regulates on the show during the week outside of the actual show itself. So instead of just meeting us once a week for an hour, you've got that sort of long-term contact. It's a good thing. Now, on top of Discord, we also have an IRC server, and I probably should have thought about this ahead. So the IRC server is now running. I've only just set it up so you can see it's brand new, and we've already got Wagoo in there, as we would expect. Now the IRC server has a little special feature, and that is that it will also paste whatever's written in there from Discord and vice versa. So whatever Discord's writing, it will also paste the same thing in Discord. So if you don't like IRC, you can go into Discord. If you don't like Discord, you can go into IRC. And the other cool thing is I can flag comments. Like, for example, you can see there that Wagoo said, "Watcha." Now, if I go back a couple of pages, I should be able to find that. There it is. And if I add that to my queue, go back to here, and with some luck, he says, hopefully that's going to work. I press this button here. Hey, look at that. So I can actually pick up comments in IRC and in Discord and bring them into the show. Now, the only way I can do that is with IRC. So anything that you type into Discord will have to go into IRC and vice versa. Now, if you're wondering what the IRC server address is, I will write it up into the chat room on YouTube, the YouTube chat room. So the IRC server is irc.synthgeekery.com, and the channel is obviously Synth Geekery. So that's the IRC server if you want to join that. That is sort of a technical stuff. I know it's a little bit technical for some of you guys, but that's cool. We've got some very, very savvy tech people on this channel as well. So some of those people absolutely love it. Brooksy's joined us. Hello, Brooksy.
Hello, can you hear me? Is this working?
It is. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, blimey.
Things work.
Is it level all right?
Sounds good, yeah. The chatties will tell us if you're a bit low.
Lovely. Hi, everyone in the chat.
I think you're good. So if you're not in YouTube chat and you don't want to be in YouTube chat for some reason, you don't like YouTube, you don't like sharing information, You can also jump on to Discord as well. Now, the Discord chat channel is the one that we've always used, and that is the hashtag live-stream-chat. So if you're on the Discord channel, it is hashtag live-stream-chat. So that's the channel that will populate any comments in Discord into the IRC server, and then I can pull them out and use them, which I think is a really cool thing. So that means we've now got the ability to use Twitter, Discord, IRC, and obviously YouTube, and bring our comments in on the show live as we see them. So, for example, if you've just said hello in chat, where are we? Where's someone that's just said hello? Let's do this one. Okay, and give me a second. I'm just going to wait for that to update, and then I'll press this magic button. So if you're in YouTube chat, just as usual, we can also bring the YouTube chat comments in, and as you can see there, Roy said hello to Brooksy. So I just grabbed a random one there. So Roy, g'day Roy from Brooksy.
Yep.
All right.
Hi, Roy.
Yeah, that's just showing an example. No big deals at all there.
Oh.
All right, cool. So we've got Discord, IRC, YouTube chat, boom. I think that's pretty cool. In terms of IRC, you know, that's the old, we used to use that sort of stuff back in the 90s and the early 2000s. So it's an old school type chat system, but you can use web-based IRC. All you need is the server address, which I gave you before. And away you go. Away you go in the classics, they say. Right, okay. What are we going to do? We have got a few places to fill today. So there should be Darren. There should be, we've got Ian Cole coming on as well. And we've also got Andy, Synth coming on as well. So there should be six. If you include the chatties, it's 6 people. Five video people and a bunch of chatties. So that will be cool. And also, I don't know if we're going to have time, but I've just updated that to the new 2.11 firmware. See? 2.11 firmware. Right. Isn't that cool? So we could have a little look at that. Now, I don't have a clue. I haven't even touched it yet. So it could be a complete nutter's train wreck if we do that. It may be a good idea to not do that. I don't know. I haven't even seen, like there's one thing I've noticed, right? And it's real basic. And that is that when you go into menu, you've got this new thing called sounds here, which is what they've been harping on, right? So you press that and you've got your sound browser. And if you're in, we're in clips. Where are we? Drums, if you're in drums, you go to menu, sound browser, it'll bring drum programs up in your factory expansions. And you can go through the vault and they're all there. So there's heaps, right? And you can load them in that way. So that's one of the new features in there. In terms of the cool features like MIDI and key grouping and all that sort of stuff, I haven't tried it. I wouldn't have a clue how to start. I'm not going to go there yet. So we could play with it and completely go bonkers if we want. Brooksy, have you updated yours yet?
No. No, I haven't. When did it become available to us? I thought it
about
was
2 or 3 days ago.
Was it? I got the 26th of June in my head, so
I think it was the 23rd.
It's actually available to 23rd, was it? All right,
Yeah.
I will get on and do. Yes, I will, because I think that sounds thing is going to make.
It's going to be good for you.
Actually, I think it's going to help. I really do. So, yeah. Oh, excuse me, I'm really snotty hay fevery today.
Oh, that's no good. What we will do is we'll plug a keyboard controller on. I know this is not everyone's favourite. We'll plug a keyboard controller into the MPC later so that we do have the ability to play keys on it and see what we can do with that. Just for Brooksy and anyone else who's thinking of doing the update, I actually just turned it on and it told me that there was an update available. And I just pressed update and it did it. downloaded it
Do you
off
have
the
it
internet.
linked via
Yeah.
Bluetooth?
I've got mine
okay,
linked via
I can't set that
Wi-Fi, I
up,
think. So I don't know if yours...
Well, that's Wi-Fi.
Does yours have Wi-Fi? Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah, I think it does. I've got it, but I've never actually. Those things I've never actually tried.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
you can
why I want to, but
or you can just update it via
just plug a
USB.
USB cable in. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can plug the USB cable and update it from your PC. So there's 3 different ways to update it. Well, 4 if you want to use a Mac. So that is cool. Now, chatties, they're in there. So we did talk about IRC chat. Now we're talking about YouTube chat. So if you are watching and you are lurking, please jump into the chat room and say hi and tell us where you're from, because we like people that do that, and we're very nice. And don't forget, we also now, as I mentioned 5 minutes ago, we also now have an IRC server, which I've already mentioned. irc.synthgeekery.com is the IRC server address, and Synth Geekery is the channel. So jump into that and have some fun, and that will stay live 24/7, 7 days a week as usual. And obviously there's Discord as well. So I am harping on it because we do have people joining sort of gradually through the show. So I'll probably mention it again around about an hour's time from now. So yeah, okay, cool. We've got a few people that I haven't seen for a little while in the chat, which is good. And they're starting to sort of filter in. Now let me just make sure that everything's happy on YouTube. Says okay, everything's good. Okay, good. I think it's like we've got Ian here. So I'm just going to organize his audio. Just give me a second. I'll go to here so you can see him. But I just want to organize his audio. Where is he? Where is he? He's guest number 2. And we want that separate mono thingo. Is that him? No, he's not guest 2 then. That must be
1, 2.
Oh, he's guest 3. Okay, cool. There we go. He should be coming in the middle now. Hey.
Hey, hello.
Now let's see if this works. Oh, look at that. It works.
Hello.
Beautiful.
Look, wow. That's fantastic.
Awesome. How you going, Ian? Good to have you back.
I'm good. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's great. I had such a blast that time. It was fantastic.
Oh, awesome. We're very happy to have you back. Let's see if Brooksy's works. Yeah, that's good.
Hi, Ian. Nice to see you.
You're nice and clear today.
Hi,
Maybe
matey.
your neighbours aren't there.
Oh, I don't know what's. Yeah, they're all outside enjoying the sunshine and the pollen.
Oh, God. Don't tell me about the pollen.
Okay, I won't then.
No.
Yeah, he's not going to tell you.
I've taken my antihistamine. I'm all right. I'm on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And you would admit that.
Yeah, but yeah.
In the meantime, we can do 4 of us until other people join, so that makes it a little bit easier to see. Now, what did you just send me, Brooksy?
Oh, just some photos that I took. I forgot to send them. I'm an idiot. They might be a bit blurry because I'm crap at taking photos, but just for the studio pics thing.
Okay.
I like your T-shirt there, Ian. That's definitely very VCS3, isn't it? Those knobs. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Is it something else?
It was one of these. No, well, I think it's meant to be, although I believe some of the knobs are wrong, according to Ian Body. It was a limited edition, another limited edition that Electronic Sound did. But I just fell in love with it. It's great.
Speaking of Ian Body, he sold me. I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? That all those many years ago, from Rock City in Newcastle.
Did he?
Yeah. I've often wondered if it was actually his, but I've no idea. It was just there. It was sitting on the side. Nobody was paying it any attention because it was surrounded by things like DX7s and stuff. But I said,
Yeah.
how much is that? 150 quid to you, mate, in a hard case. I went, I'll have it.
That's
It's
brilliant.
not bad, is it? Eh?
It's me spending my student grant first year at university, 1987 and 1988. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And for those of you that don't know, you should check out Ian Body's music. He runs a little label
great,
up in the north
yeah.
of England called Din. and he's a really nice guy. I've known him years. You know, we used to be part of a Northern Composers Guild a few years ago. That's where I first met him. But he's a lovely bloke, and his music's superb. In fact, I think he's playing this weekend in Manchester.
Oh, is he? Cool.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. That's not bad. Now I've got your images in, Brooksy. So as it says on the little stream info thing that we had playing before, which I'll just play again, down the bottom there, it's not too late to send your pics in. If you want to send them in, get them in now, because you've probably only got about, I guess, no more than about half an hour or so to get them into me. So you do have a couple more minutes to get them in. And the easiest way to get them to me is probably Discord now, or email me, I guess. But you need to tell me if you do that, because I'm not checking my emails during the show. That's just too hard to do. So if you do want to send your pics in of your studio, do let me know. Other than that, we can turn that off now. We don't need that anymore. What else can we? We've still got just the four of us, or three of us, technically. Right. What I was doing before, I was having a little fiddle with something, and I've got a little technical problem in my studio right now. I'm trying to work out what's going on. I had like it was kind of, I think one of the Behringer ADAT modules might have gone, or the preamp might have gone on it. That's what I think it is. So what I've got right now is I've taken the audio out of my whole modular system, and I've now got going through ADAT through the Xils-labs module here, which goes straight into my RME. And it sounds weird, but it sounds like this.
Nice.
You can hear a whole bunch of effects.
Sounds really fat.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Is that the 2500?
That's the 2500. That's got two oscillators going on it. That's why it sounds fat. But at the same time, it also has the 1-bit multi-tap delay. You can kind of hear it flapping around with pitch in the breeze there.
I don't know if you can see, but I've unpatched virtually everything from mine.
Ooh, it's very naked.
Yeah, I had to do a bit of a moving around and to fit a module in, because actually it fitted a gap right over on the right hand side, but I couldn't get to a power outlet, so I had to take everything. I thought, all right, I'm going to have to unpatch the whole lot, so I unpatched it. So let's put a new module in. I'm sort of migrating things gradually from there across into just to this one's growing up. I've turned from man at Behringer into man at Dupfer right now.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad thing, because I honestly think that I might muck around with Dopfer in this, because as you know, I've got the four Behringer voices in this, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I just kind of feel like the Dopfer thing, not only will it give me more room for module space in there, but I kind of feel that the voicing is going to be a little bit better for me.
Yeah. I watched Alex Mylar Melodies video on the A111-5, snappy name, innit? The mini synthesizer, the mini voice, A111-5. They do a -6, which is bigger, and then this is really slim. It's only 10 HP or something.
It's got the four voices on it.
And I just thought, no, it's just a single voice. It's
a single voice one.
It's just a single voice one.
Yep.
Yeah, which I thought, because to be honest, I was just getting a bit bored of that 110 module. It's a bit, well, it's nice. It sounds like an SH101, doesn't it? So it's a bit. I just thought it sounded like it got a lot more balls. So I've put that in, and again, it actually takes up less space. And all you really need to make it work. The only thing that it lacks is an LFO. So, and I'm also about to purchase it's called Nano Quart. No, you've got that Clavis module, the 4-envelope generator thing. It's a bit like that. In fact, I think it's a clone of a.
Mine's a Batumi.
No.
My four.
Haven't you got?
Envelope. Sorry, I thought you said. Sorry, I don't know why I thought you said LFOs, but you did. You actually said envelope.
It's an attack. It's an attack decay or attack release envelope. but it can be cycled, so it can be LFOs. So it's it's a bit like there's an IntelliGel module which does something similar. But Robin Vincent was using it on a stream the other day. I thought, yeah, actually that makes a lot of sense for basic envelopes or LFOs. Yeah, I looked at that one. I was thinking, yeah, that sort of thing, absolutely. And then ultimately, I decided this was just simpler, and so I've got that one on order. That should be coming in a few days too. Yeah,
this is not bad. There's actually one cool feature about this, and there's probably a lot more that I can do in this that I haven't even started mucking around with. Like, for example, it's got a CV matrix, it's got cycle ability, all this sort of cool stuff. Haven't even gone there yet, but one of the things I like about it is you can, if you just hold down those 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons up the top, if you hold them all down together, it means that if you muck around with the ADSIR sliders, it will affect all 4 envelopes at the same time. So it's kind of like a global thing. And when you're doing multi-voices like this, when you've got multi-voices, that's a godsend, because you don't want to have slightly different envelopes.
It works really well in that polyphonic voice, doesn't it? That poly case, the 4 voice. Yeah, that's a good solution.
So what I want to do is I want to get the I forget what it is, the module, but it's a Dope4 module which has 4 oscillators. It's got 4 voices in it, and I think it might be the 115 or something silly like that. But it's actually quite compact, and literally it would probably take up. It would probably only take up the 110, one of the 110 spots.
It's pretty compact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, then you'd probably need 4 filters, then, wouldn't you, and 4 amplifiers? So
it does have filters and amplifiers in it, or at least it has filters in it anyway. But I've got 4 amplifiers already, because I've got that 4-play thing there. If I need it. Whoops. Sorry, we're getting dizzy.
I was looking at it.
So that 4-play module there does my 4. If I need 4 VCAs, it's 4 VCAs. But what I'm using it for, I've told you guys about this before, but it's kind of, fair enough you don't remember. I don't like the output on the nifty keys. I don't like it. It's kind of funky. So basically, you've got your output there and your output there, right? And it lets you put two things into out 1 and 2 things into out 2. So technically, you can have 4 things. But what happens then is it sends 2 of the outputs to the left channel and 2 of the outputs to the right channel. And I kind of feel like they're not 100% calibrated. I've had a look at I've recorded it and had a look, and one of them's a little bit quieter than the other. And that kind of does my head in, that sort of stuff. And I can't be bothered going in and fixing it. So the easiest way to get around this was to use this and just completely bypass the whole nifty keys output. And you can also use there's another Behringer, System 100 module that will let you do that too, which is it's like a CV mixer module. And I actually had it in there before. What's it called? It is called the 297.
Yeah.
I haven't got it in at the moment, but I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like
I've ported that one across because I've never used it.
Yeah. So you just plug the 4 signals in, and it just acts like a 4-channel mixer. And then you just use one of the standard outputs. So that's actually pretty handy as well. And they're pretty cheap. So I was using that before, but I wasn't sure when I was doing the troubleshooting with my studio, and I wasn't sure whether I had issues with, I don't know, some sort of feedback or what it was. I think, this is early days yet, but I think my issue is to do with the ADAT module on Behringer, because that doesn't sound distorted, I don't think, anymore. Let me just go across to here. I probably should zoom out on this, shouldn't I? Where's my little thing gone? Here it is. Zoom out. There we go. Now, if I just change the... There we go. That's all 4 voices triggering at the same time. So we go to 4, and then we'll do 4. done any tuning on that at all. I've literally just left it how it was last time I was playing it, which was a couple of days ago, and plugged it in and turned it back on again. And that's actually kind of a cool thing. Hey, Darren's here too, and Andy's here. There we go, we've got the 5 plus 1. Hello. Do you want to test your audio out, boys?
1 2 1 2
1 2 testing.
Oh, has Dave been in? Has Dave been in there again, Darren? Messing everything up.
There's some fur stuck in the faders.
Yeah.
So while Darren works out what's causing his feedback, Andy, your audio's okay, is it?
Seems like it is okay.
Yeah, good. Let's just double check to make sure we have the names on the bottom right. Yep. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. Good. See, sometimes my little spreadsheet thing works. Sometimes when I'm doing the news, it's the only time it doesn't work, but that it works. Right. No. You're still feedbacky. He looks perplexed. Hey, look, let's everyone watch Darren as he troubleshoots.
No pressure, Darren. No pressure, mate.
It's like when I do my live streams and I have no idea what I'm doing. Like if I was to start doing this right now, I'll be like, what is this update? What has it actually done to us? What has it done, indeed? Yeah, so if everyone's got one of these sitting around, like the MPC-1, the MPC-X, the MPC Live 1, this is the MPC Live 1, and because it doesn't have that studio monitors on the bottom, and you can update yours, and it's got the sound browser in it, which is kind of cool. I should probably.
Are we?
Ooh.
Are we whistling?
No, you're not whistling.
No, we can hear you now, Darren.
Yes. Good.
What was the problem? What did you do? What?
Well, Ray's been here, hasn't he? He dropped some Parma Violets down things. I've not been in the studio. I've been shipping them out for ages, and it must have been one of them somewhere on the desk. Yeah,
Parma
it's one of those
Violets
things where you
causing
solve it, but you
feedback.
don't actually know what you've done.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, Darren, I've still got some sort of nasty, overdriven feedbacky problem in here as well, and I have no idea what it is. So right now, I've had to literally disconnect a whole bunch of stuff and then go through a different ADAT connection, and it seems to be okay. Like, that sounds okay, doesn't
Well,
it?
the studio's not been on for a week because obviously we had an accident last week.
Say again,
Yeah.
Darren.
I
Ranz's
said
making a
that I've not
racket.
had the studio on for a week because we had an accident last week. The chair smashed into this and I don't know what it did. So, yeah. So I've not really been in the studio for a whole week. Plus, it's been too hot, really, for this small room because there's no build this room down. It's just been too hot. And with picking out all Parma
What is
Violets
it?
for hours
What
on
it-
end.
What is it, 20 degrees in there?
In here, God, no, it's probably more than that. Outside, it might be.
There's these really, really funny things happening right now on social media where people are talking about how hot it is over in the Northern Hemisphere, and they're referring to the Australians and sort of as if that's like a check to see if something's hot, and the Australians are going, no, that's not hot. It's not hot.
Yeah, but you're used to it. And let's face it, you can have it for months on end. We get it for like 2 days, and then we're down to -5.
Yeah.
It's like
You're
the
thinking
not a
melting.
knife thing from Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife.
Yeah.
This is heat.
Yeah.
And I'm on some different
Our
things
heat.
this time instead of squashes.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you're on
shouldn't really
squishes.
be advertising them.
yeah. I heard.
So you've
I
got
heard something about
squashies for
Skittles.
Squishies.
Is that Skittles brand? That's a Skittles brand, right?
Yeah.
I was watching something. Some nutritionist was talking about that Skittles.
Andy's off for some.
Yeah, he's probably going to the
Yeah.
kitchen get some Skittles. Someone said to me that, or this thing, I can't remember if it was someone or this thing that I watched, that there's some really bad things that they put in Skittles. Like if you actually knew what they were, the chemicals that they put to make those little sugary snacks, you would never ever eat them again. And I've just completely forgotten what it was.
Most
But
products,
someone
to be
will,
honest, but-
someone will
Isn't it-
probably tell us.
Isn't it all the E numbers?
I think it is. It's like if you look at the back,
Yeah.
it's all carcinogenic
Well, I'm
stuff.
not telling Rave then if they've got lots of E's in them.
Well, I'll show. These are courtesy of Wagyu in his box of goodies that he sent. These are called Lachgummi Shakies, and I think that because it's Switzerland, they've got all the things in that you can't have in the EU because they're bloody minging. They're a bit squashing.
All right.
And then there's a
What does
pack of
shaky
these
mean in
things
this case?
called Nimmt Soft. Braust. Oh. And these are things you have to unwrap them, and they're chewy, and they've got really, really, really sour stuff in the middle. Gefriertes Kaubonbons mit Vitaminen. Filled chews with vitamins. Really. And probably every illegal chemical known to man.
And you're happily eating
Thanks,
them.
Wagyu. Trying to poison me.
Yeah.
It's like the Mexican vanilla they're not allowed to import. You can only get it in Mexico.
Next on the cooking show, I'm going to show everyone how I can smack everyone on the head with a frying pan. No, we should start talking about.
See, I
synths.
introduced you to all these squashy toffee stuff, and now everyone's having.
Well, you were the original crisp bag rattler, weren't you? Hey.
Yes, I was. I was, yeah. It's only because I was always hungry and I hadn't had anything to eat.
Yes, true.
God, what's in that?
That doesn't look
Now,
very
if
good,
they-
Andy.
If Brooksy kirks
It's turned
over
my
and
face
dies,
inside out.
we can all just laugh at him while he's kirking over and dying. There's nothing we can do. It's not like I can give you CPR or anything, mate. You're on the other side of the world.
Oh, bloody hell, Wagyu. Those things are. Whoa.
All right, let's talk synths. Okay, any of you lovely gentlemen here got anything new in your studio over the last couple of times since we've seen? Oh, looks like Ian's going to be holding something up. Look at that.
Hey!
Okay, that's the Novation
OG
circuit. OG, yeah. You did say you were going to get that.
Well, I looked at some videos on the MPCs, and I just thought I can't. The workflow doesn't really suit me, and we've got Inky to blame for this to some extent because we've been having lots of conversations about the circuit, and
What?
I mean, I have to say, it arrived on. We're on Saturday now. It arrived Thursday, and I just think it's brilliant. I'm going to have to spend quite a bit of time really getting my head around it, but just messing around with it, I just think it's fantastic. And this is not an area that I am. Groove boxes are not what I'm used to. As I said before, the only other thing I had was the Zoom Arc, which I just thought was ridiculous and couldn't get my head around it at all, no matter how much I played with it. Whereas I spent a couple of hours with that, and I'm already sort of well ingrained, and just want to do more with it, really.
Nice. Now, I've got one more. Keep talking because I've got a photo I've got to sort out.
Okay.
So what are you going to be doing with it?
Well, I'm playing a gig. I'm playing an EMOM in about 3 weeks' time in York, and I'd really like to use it, but I want to swap out all of the drum patterns first and do all my own patterns, which won't necessarily be drums. So I want to do some really sort of weird stuff with it. That's the plan.
Now,
whether it happens or not.
Thanks for the invite to that one in York. Yeah, thanks. I'm not going to be able to manage that one because I'm doing that's on the 13th, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm doing the Jim's Derby one on the 14th. So trying to get some
right.
work and no, it's just been
Yeah,
too
yeah.
much. So I have to pass that one, unfortunately. But thank you.
No, it's fine. I mean, I just passed it around to see if anybody in the north was going to be able, was interested in going, because it all. I know Simon who runs it, and he does a really good night. And I thought it was going to be in August when I was away, but actually he sort of brought it forward, and it just sort of dropped very quickly, and it is filling up already. So,
Okay, cool.
But that should be a good night. I'll try and film something as well.
Beautiful. Okay, I've just added another studio to our little pile of studio picks that we've got. So, and if you're wondering whose that was, the person should know. I'm going to keep it all a surprise for now. Now, we're gonna get to that a little bit later. Are you what?
Say, am I wrong in saying that Jean-Michel Jarre and Tangerine Dream used the Raven at some point?
I'm pretty sure Tangerine Dream did. I wouldn't be surprised if the Crazy French Man did. He's just about had every synth known to mankind, isn't he, that guy? So surely he would have.
Tangerine Dream definitely had something to do with Quasi MIDI. They were working with them.
That I can confirm, but the Jean-Michel Jarre I can't. Someone will tell us in the chat though, surely. Someone in the chat probably knows him personally. This is a small world. The synth world.
Every polysynth.
Just get on the blower. The blower. The Australian colleagues.
My Raven
get
is
on the blower.
on the shelf right now, unfortunately. So.
Hang on, I'm just getting a call from. No, no, it's probably true. Does that make it better for you, Darren? Does that make you want to use your Raven?
At the beginning of the week before I hadn't been in there, I'd been just switched it on and messing about with it. It does have a hum though because of the power pack inside. The power inside PSU, very noisy.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just having a play with it.
Don't say it, Brooksy, don't say it. You're spoiling it. You're spoiling it because this is what we can do now with all the technology. See, look at that. No, you're allowed to say. I'm just mucking around with you, mate. Yeah. So you say it now, Brooksy. Come on, because I know what you like.
Shah used the Raven on Oxygen 7 to 13. There's a distinct choir sound using Oxygen 7.
Straight to the top of the class for you, Brooksy.
The Raven's okay. I like the Sirius better.
I think you should show Ben Breslin's comment now. That's good as well.
I think that's awesome, actually.
Yeah, the Sirius is definitely 90s.
I think that's a pretty decent comment, that one. Look at that. It does take me a couple of seconds to get it up. There you go, Ben. You went to different schools together, see? I like what you did there. I think it was very clever. Now, how do I get rid of it? Right. So, yeah, Quasi MIDI. Yeah, Robert's saying that it makes him think of Klaus Schulze. I was kind of thinking of that myself. Yeah. Geez.
Well, Klaus Schulze had a rack of like 6 polymorphs to do shows with.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. He had at least 6.
I always wondered what they were in this rack. I never paid attention. So you were paying attention, Eddie. I was just going,
I got a polymorph.
Wow, this sounds amazing.
I like the polymorph.
I was one of those sort of people.
It has Jorg Schaaf written all over it. He wrote some good sequences for it.
Yeah.
We had the Revolution 309 in Chillage People way back. It belonged to Rupert, and we did use it out live for sort of drums and bass line things. It was quite a funky little box, actually, if memory serves.
It's basically a Groovebox series. It's the same engine.
It was just the almost like 909, 808, 909 drum sounds and a bass synth. It wasn't hugely flexible, but it sounded good. I wonder if Rupert still got it. Oh, I better ask him next time.
Yeah, they added a vocoder and more synth bits to it to make the Sirius.
Thanks for the words of wisdom there, Bert. Beautiful. So everyone's going to sample this show. I can swear it's going to happen. There's going to be some, especially me. I've already put my foot in it a few times. Okay. So what were we going to do next? Okay, so we're talking about MPC updates. Now, out of you guys, I know it's just me and Brooksy, I think, that's got the MPC out of this group. Oh, no, I think, no. Andy, you've got an MPC, haven't you?
I have a Force.
Yeah. Okay, so this update doesn't apply to you. Now, what I wanted to show you guys, and I can't actually show you how it looks when you do it, but I can show you, when you turn this thing on, it automatically comes up on the screen now if there's a software update. And if you lose that, I wanted to show you a little tip because I thought this was actually pretty cool. So go into menu and click on preferences and then see how there's an update button there just next to my finger. You press that and you go online update. And look at that, it goes to check to see if there's any updates online, as long as it's connected to Wi-Fi or the Ethernet. And obviously I've updated mine, so okay, go away. So that if you do lose that little message, you think, oh, I might do it on the actual box itself. That's an easy way to do it. So you don't have to worry about USBs or plugging in your PC or something like that. All you have to do is just connect it up to Wi-Fi. And some people absolutely are completely doorless when it comes to using an MPC. They do not use a computer at all. They've now got to the point where there's no need to do it, which I think is a bit of a challenge, actually, to be honest. I don't know how they do it. Like, I don't know how they mix and things like that in that thing. That would do my head in. I know you can, like there's ways to mix, like there is even a channel mixer menu on this thing, but like that is just not an easy way of mixing in my opinion. And there's other mixing things like pad mixing and yeah, it's not, I think the Force is a better mixer, has a better mixing system on it. So, because you actually, you have your channel lines on the Force, it makes it sort of easier. Interesting. I think I might, just because I just did this before the show started, I might not worry about going into the updates and showing you guys what's in here because I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. And I do really, really want to try this key grouping thing because I think that's going to be killer. And I think Brooksy's interested in that as well. So leave it with me for a week, and maybe next week we can have a little bit more of a play with it whilst we've had a chance to absorb some of this stuff. But it is exciting. So like I said, it only just came out on the 23rd of June, so only 2 days ago. And we also got some news this week that we'll get into about Akai as well. So that will be relevant to what we're talking about too. So, okay. Now, in terms of subscriber studios, if you are still wanting to bring your photo into the show, it's not too late. How many people are on YouTube right now? Oh, it's growing. It's growing. Okay, so if you do want to send your pic in, the easiest way to do it would be to jump onto Discord or to email me or to message me via Facebook, I guess. If you do any of those things, make sure you let me know because I won't be checking it unless someone tells me to go check it. So the only ones that I'm kind of monitoring during the show is Discord, IRC, and the YouTube chat. So if you do want to send your studio in for everyone to share and look at it, I do have a special guest studio to show you this week, and I'm going to leave that as a secret, but that is going to be very interesting, and we have got a hell of a lot of pictures of this special guest. Now, this is a very, very famous synthesizer musician too, so look forward to seeing that, people. Right, should we get into, I think we should get into the main show. I reckon we should just do it early because what the hell? What do you think, guys? Yeah. Do it early? Bugger 'em.
Yeah, go for it.
We've got heaps of stuff to do, so let's just do it. Right, let's run this. Okay, so welcome everybody. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one of you lovely people here that has joined us on the video calls, and we're going to say, in order of the buttons that I press, a big hello, and you can tell us about how your week's been. I'll start with Darren. G'day, mate. How's your week been?
Hello. The week's been hot and not so productive in the studio. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been picking out Parma violets from everywhere, repairing this side of it because we had an accident last week, or someone had an accident. It wasn't me. I'm trying to. In fact, there's a few knobs missing. I think I don't know where them have gone, but yeah. So I've really maybe done much. apart from just a few little bits, just tweaking up ready for the album. Which what's he done there? Hang about. That's another knob I need. Yeah, so basically that's all I've done. Sat in here sweating away, picking out Parma violets. I can't really say much more to that. No music produced. Well, a little bit, but other than that, yeah. The rest of the week I've been working. I mean, I need to strip the studio down. To be honest, it's about time it came down now.
He didn't steal your bastard, did he?
Hey, don't even get him going out onto a park bench. Bad enough in here. Could you imagine what he's like? No mind getting arrested. Heck. Yeah, he's wanting to do. He's wanting to do something a bit special for his album launch, and I said I don't think we can do that. So he's when it's launched, he's going to put a video up, probably of about the first 30 seconds of track. Where's the paper? He's giving me the list of what I've got to say. Track 2. All starts with a Parma Violet. So it's going to be the 30-second sort of video, sort of highlighting the album. In the not long now. So yes, all that's to come. Anyway, how's your week been, Ranz?
It's been good, mate. We will send the search parties out to look for your missing knobs. I think the world can help you out there, mate. So if you do get messages during the week,
I don't know what to do with them. Yeah, I don't know. It needs to be knob friendly in here.
Yeah. You need to get like a Roland Alpha Juno or something. Something that's got absolutely no knobs on it at all.
Well, you are saying this, but even the sliders are getting it now. I mean, that's what happened last week when he was pulling down on the slider.
It does have one giant knob, the Alpha dial. So it's a...
Yeah, it's like a
it's
like a dial.
If he sees a big knob like that, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, he is. He's going to sit on it and twist. Right, we're going to say hello to Andy. How are you, mate? How's your week been?
Busy. But having some fun. I did some... I couldn't clean it up in time for a proper view of studio stuff to make it look pretty. But, I did reset up this thing a little bit so you can see a few things. The
Mirage
EPS, which needs a battery. System 8. You can see the
OB12.
OB12. The bottom is SY99, which is out of frame, just as the camera won't go that far back. I got the Venom on top of it. I can play it later if you want to hear the Venom. But everything's plugged in and patched. I'm doing the submixer thing. So there's a submixer on that part of the room. Submixer where my modular is, which is not on camera right now. Submixer on my drum machine table, which also connects all those things behind me. All the Juno and all that stuff goes to the table behind me over here, which is a submix there. So I basically have 3 submixers in the room, master mixer down here, and just shit all over the place. So I need to do more straightening up.
How did you get on with the Venom, Andy?
So I got it as a kind of a goof because it was $200 new when M Audio was shutting down and blasting them out. And it's cheap plastic, but what's cool about it is it's very aggressive sounding. So if you like gnarly, aggressive leads and basses and 303 type stuff with distortion and some pretty pads on there too. There's even a live mode. The camera is not showing it right now, but it's off camera a little bit. But just the center is cut off where you can see the actual luminescent display. But just to the right of the display are 4 part buttons for the multis. So you can mix live 4 different parts, part mutes in and out, which is kind of cool. Because there's some very, kind of like on a Alesis Micron, where you have up to 4 parts with rhythm and bass and leads and things like that. And you can bring them in and out at will to do kind of a one-patch jam with all this stuff going on at once. It's pretty clever, actually. And for $200, hey,
Yeah, I was the same.
I have stuff that costs less than that. Yeah, it a lot of people hated it because it is cheap.
Yeah, I hated it. I mean, I enjoyed the sound of it, but I found the software so ridiculous. I mean, I used to have to keep literally rebooting it every time I switched it on, and I just got so sick of it, really. And it's such a shame because it was just, it had so much potential when it came out, and they just
I used the software twice and never again.
Audio.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, we will go across to you now, Ian. Big hello to you. How's your week been?
Hi, everybody. Good week. First part of the week was spent doing a course with on MSP, Max MSP, with for a couple of days, Monday, Tuesday, which was a free course online. And anybody that wants to get sort of into a Max MSP, there's some guys at a place called Hackspace. You just register, and they have lots of free courses on there, and have started a new series. I mean, I've used Max MSP over the last 4 or 5 years, but I mean, I learned some stuff. It was a well-run course. And then that part of the week, I've been watching Glastonbury since yesterday and today. So thoroughly enjoyed Wet Leg. Saw them playing a Korg Minilog XD. So that's been my week, really. Pretty chilled, really. Not an awful lot of work. Bit of work going on in the middle of the week, but nothing to write home about.
Fantastic. And as you mentioned before, you got the circuit in as well.
Yeah,
so that's probably kept you
circuit.
busy.
Yeah, it has. So certainly since Thursday. So when I'm not watching Glastonbury, I'm playing with the circuit.
Fantastic. Yeah. One thing about the circuit too, that while we're on that, we'll just briefly talk about it, is a lot of people forget that the circuit has kind of like 2 Nova synth engines in it. So, it's if you get the editor for it, you can do quite a lot of, synthesis on that thing. And it's good fun too, because you can create your own sounds. Yeah, look at that. See, Darren's got one. I've got one in the box somewhere.
And actually, Ranzee, your video on using the software was great, actually. So
really?
I haven't started with it yet, but it was really, really, really useful.
Right.
So
I hope
looking forward to getting.
I hope it's still relevant, because I got a feeling that might have been Isotronics that did that software a while back. Isotronic, sorry. Yeah. And I think they may not do it anymore. So I think you might have to use the components system now for it. But
right.
They still make the packs though. They still make a lot of sound packs for it, which are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Good to have you on, Ian, again. And as I said before, welcome to Keep Coming. Brooksy, not last and not least, that's for sure. How's your week been?
I'm off work. Still signed off because of the asthma and stuff. I'm still getting very tired and weary doing things, and which is a bit of a downer. So hey, so I've been spending time in here, watching lots of videos, messing about, making sort of sounds, reordering my racks, and basically just noodling about with the new modules. Like I said, I've got the Dirt for miniature synth voice. It's really nice. Really, it's a lot more characterful than the 110 module from Behringer. It's got a lot more grit. It's got more balls. It's got a nice sub oscillator, and you can actually sort of you can do some really interesting little things with it. It's just great. It's really a really good module. I'm really, really pleased with it. Sounds fab. So that's basically what I've been doing this week. Really.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Well, it's nice when you get new stuff. That's for sure, because it's always something to play with, and whatever you want to do with it. I actually haven't got anything new myself. So yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the sort of things we were talking about earlier, weren't we? About the System 100 from Behringer. I mean, it sounds really nice. What I struggle with that is making it sound more just dirtier. I mean, I know I can get distortion and stuff. It seems to just lack a little bit of character. It's very nice at doing nice sounds and not very good at doing sort of more nasty, gnarly ones. I know you can do oscillator sync and things like that, but still, I was just wanting to get something a bit more character. I suppose I'm growing up with my Euro rack in that sense. I'm getting to more interesting things. I mean, like playing with the plats, and actually, I mean, at first I was just using the plats on its own as its own little self-contained thing, but actually it works miles better when you just treat it just as an oscillator and stick it through a VCA and filters and stuff. Then it really comes to life. Like the lead sound on the track that Grace and I did last week was the plats used like that, and it was just lovely. It was great, really nice, and that's been fun. So yeah, and I think that's probably what I do like. And again, also in terms of space and the things I'd like to do with this rack as a performance rack. Because if I'm going to be doing these live events, I need one where it's all in there, and I'm still finding sort of shortcomings with it, which I'm trying to overcome. But that's, I suppose, getting more experience of using it, playing with it, performing with it, and trying to get it so that it's not just one pattern repeated and messed about with, but actually getting progression. And I think that's why these modules are arriving. Anyway, there you go. Burbled on there, didn't I?
No, that works. That sounds fine to me. While I was listening to you, I thought I'm pretty sure this is the one that we were talking about before.
Yeah.
That I'm going to get. I think it's this one. There are a couple of options with Dopefer when it comes to quad VCO. So there is a different quad VCO, but I think this is the one that gives me the LFO or VCO, and you've got the two different types of things. But there is one other one which I don't know, it might be better. It's the, where's it gone? The VCO, the Precision VCO, the 111-4. And I think this might be a nicer one. I'm just not sure which one to go with, actually, to be honest. So let's bring that one up when I get a chance to refresh my page. Here we go.
That is just for oscillators, though, isn't it? There's no amp, no
that's right, yeah. So I would have to get
this one.
This one's called a Precision VCO. So you can see it's got more waveform options on it, and it's got more features on it, like FM and things like that, or PM they call it.
Cross mod.
Yeah. So this one might be a bit more powerful in that sense. And then you would get the polyphonic, I don't know, wherever it is.
There's a quad VCA module, which is just like jacks, isn't it? And then there's...
So I need to look into it because I don't know. It could be different sound. Well, definitely will be different sound. Not could, definitely be a different sound. And I think it'll just be more interesting to see. Nothing wrong with my setup that I've got here. But I kind of agree with you, Brooksy. I kind of feel that it's a little clinical at times. You just want it to be a little bit more flexible, and I don't know. I kind of almost feel like the 2500 has a better flexibility with sound than the System 100M, because you've got much more waveform manipulation options on it with those, switches and blending, and it just really gives you a lot more. But yeah, anyway, right.
Yeah. I mean, Cressy said it has that Roland character. It really does, and that's part of it. It is quite clean and precise. So
yeah.
It's not necessarily a negative. It's just sometimes you want something a little bit different. So.
Yeah, the quad VCF is the other one to get. I'm just not sure if it's this one or another one. There's a whole bunch of them. If you go on Dopefer's homepage and just go click on modules and just search the page for quad, you'll see a whole bunch of them. But this is what that one looks like. I hope I'm not crashing the show when I do this. Whoa. That doesn't look right at all. I think I may even crash the show trying to bring that thing in. Whoa. Look at that. Something's gone wrong there.
Wee.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's a GIF. Okay, that's why. It doesn't like GIFs. All right, fair enough. All right, I won't play with those anymore. I don't want to crash the show. Okay, we are going to say good day to the chatties, as we like to do. Don't forget about them. I haven't said hello to anyone yet in the chat. How are we going to do this? I don't really know who was first today. I think it might have been you, Andy, Synth Addict. I think you might have been first.
I don't
So
sleep
don't-
much, so
Yeah, you don't sleep at all. Okay, why don't we go to, where is it? Go to here. Okay, I am just going to say randomly hello to everyone that's in here. So big hello to David, who's one of our channel members. Also, Brooksy's one of our channel members too, which I should mention. So thanks, Brooksy, for doing that. Future World Machines, Homegrown. Who else? Who else jumped in as a channel member? Quickly scrolling. I think that's it. I think. And then, of course, everyone else who's come in. It's nice to see all of you guys, like Ken, Lewis, your name here, Kev Human, Stephen Frey, Adamski, Apis Lapis, Martin Taylor, Cress Head we talked about before, Azio Head, Wagoo. Big hello to everyone else who's part of the chat and having fun talking about synths and everything. So it's really nice to have you all. And I didn't get everyone in there, but believe me, I've seen your name and I'm really appreciative that you guys are part of this show and part of this synth community. It's really nice to have you. All right, let's see if we can get you to laugh. Now, is it this button? Oh, it is. Yay. Right, so rate my setup. There it is there. You guys wanted to see what my studio looks like. There it is. This is my setup here.
Yep.
I've gone to a lot of effort here to make sure that I'm not going to get electric shocks and set things on fire. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought you'd enjoy that because I'm going to be jamming away soon. Anyway, let's keep going. We've got TRS.
that's a good one.
Yes. Don't ask me what sort of connectivity that last one gives us, but a shite load. And how will he provide shelter, warmth? Says her mum. His analog synths have enough heat for all of us, mum. Believe me, it does get hot in here. And this is winter here right now, and I've still got a little bit of sweat happening. I think there might be one more. Yes, thanks to JX3D. Henrik sent this one in. Kids complaining about Spotify. They don't know the real struggle. Those
of us of a certain age are all too familiar with that.
Nothing that won't fix.
Oh, yes.
Hey? Nothing
And
that
I've
won't
already
fix.
done
Pen or
that
a
just
pencil.
recently as well.
Yeah.
Well, it'll fix it, but you still get crinkles and creases in your tape and.
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear.
Get the iron out.
I'll tell you what, by far the worst ones for getting jammed in players were pre-recorded cassettes, commercially available cassettes.
they were.
Just
Yeah.
shite.
Yeah.
Just awful.
I did.
You buy yourself
I
these
did
Just use those
50Ks or
T120s
something,
and they're
fine.
super thin. They get stuck all the time.
Yeah, one's like that, honestly.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that's a cassette, people. Look at that. They exist. Right. What was your favourite meme of the week?
TRS.
Well, for me, it had to be the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Everyone just shouted at once.
I'll go. Right. Okay.
Go
For me,
ahead.
it was the cassette because I did a video on actually swapping out the tape and the cassette and actually dismantled it and videoed the whole thing. It was a special tape that belonged to Jane, but for me, that's the one that gets it because the amount of times that I've had to do that with cassettes and actually splice them back together back in the day.
Yeah. Darren, you said the TRS. You like the TRS one?
The TRS, but I can agree with him on the tape cassette because just only last week I'd got an old tape deck out and I was checking some old tapes out and that exact thing happened. Always on the bit that you really want. Always a good tape as well. It always happens.
Yeah.
Never anything that you're not bothered about. It's always the one that you really like.
It is. That kind of sucks.
Give your tape deck a good clean if it's not done anything for a long time. If you get a cleaning cassette, just run it through. A bit of alcohol
It's the
spray in
pinch
it.
roller where the problem is. It's the pinch.
Eddie's-
It's
I
the
got
pinch
really
roller
good at fixing
that causes
broken tapes.
Yeah.
Eddie's hoping his Walkman will become a time travel machine after he's watched that film. You have to let us know what the film is, Eddie.
There was Stranger Things, isn't it? These
The
guys
fixing thing got me a gig at the video store. I was fixing videotapes a lot. Splicing, fixing the wrinkles with putting them under books and things like that. So
I remember doing that. Oh, geez, that was painful days those days. And even editing, you could edit tapes, and like literally you'd have a knife and cut it, and physically that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I wasn't even doing music
I used
concrete.
to
I
use
was just
that
fixing
on the
damn
records
tapes.
as well.
Yeah. I've actually got an old Akai reel-to-reel machine. It doesn't work. It just needs a belt, but I've never really been bothered to fix it. But there was another guy, which you guys know, Robin Vincent. He's started mucking around with reel-to-reel recently, so I might go and get it out, dust it off, and put a new belt on it. I've got a packet of brand new audio reels to go in it, and they've never been opened. They've been sitting in a box probably for about 25 years. And there's nothing wrong with them, I know that, because they've been looked after. So that'd be interesting to see how they sound anyway. I think it's 4-track or 8-track. I can't remember one of the two, but it's not just a boring old stereo one. You can actually record multiple tracks on it.
Is it a 4000? Akai 4000?
I can't remember. That might be 4000.
That was the 4-track one, which you could do what was called sound on sound on it. So you could overlay track. Yeah.
That's the one. I'm pretty sure.
I recently bought a 30-year-old Philips reel-to-reel just to play a box full of old tapes that I found in the garage. So it did take me back a long way, really.
Wow, unbelievable. Yes, well, speaking of tapes and reels, which has absolutely no relevance to the news. Yes, and of course the title will completely bulge up as it usually does each week, but don't worry, I'll fix it because I'm here. I'm on top of it, guys. Don't worry. Look at that. See? Nothing like a sneak peek for what the titles are in future. Right, we do have to talk about this, don't we? Akai MPC key. We've been sneaking this. We've been talking about the sneaks. There's more sneaks than a friggin' thief in a friggin' museum. But anyway, bad joke. So what about this, hey? What about this? Well, that's about all we can look at. I guess we could zoom in on this a little bit, couldn't we? And have a little sort of play with zooming. Where's my position thing? So we could zoom in on this. Will it let me zoom? No, it won't. Why won't it let me zoom? Because you suck, that's why. Why don't you let me zoom? All right, bugger you. I'm not going to zoom now. Okay, let's just talk about the obvious things that are new is the keyboard and an MPC. Now, a lot of people are going to be saying, why not just plug a USB keyboard controller into your MPC and just be done with it? You're seriously going to have pretty much the same thing, and you could probably mathematically and economically work out that might be cheaper for you to do, because when I tell you the price of this, it is retailing for $1,999. You might as well say the better part of $2,000 US. I think it's about $16.99 in the UK if I remember rightly. These are MSRP prices, so I guess the street price might be a little bit less. There is a couple of things that I do like about what they've done. They've got this new touch strip across towards the left-hand side of the pads. You've got that vertical touch strip. Personally, I don't know if I wanted it to be vertical, or maybe I'm thinking that it should have been a ribbon controller. I'm not sure. Maybe they should have put a ribbon controller on it as well. But that is actually pretty cool. You can configure that. There's an edit menu there, and you can actually set that to modulation sources and a whole bunch of effects things. It's actually pretty handy, and I can see that being quite useful. And obviously the keyboard's semi-weighted, and everyone's raving about it. It feels nice. I think Akai do nice MIDI controller keyboards, so I've got no problems with the quality of their keys. I don't think it's going to be like, a proper piano style keyboard. It's not that market. It's not that market at all. However, I mean, this is really pretty much just an MPC with some synth engines put into it that may only be available for this version. And you can see them in the video that Akai put out. Now, I don't know if the video is going to work, and I don't know if I'm going to get a copyright strike if I do it, but I'm going to try. Because we try here. We try. This is what we do in the big city. We try, and if it fails, we try again, and you just never know. I can not even get this thing to maximize. Here we go. So yes, the screen does not pop out like it shows you in the video, but that would actually be pretty cool. Anyway, so as you can see from the video, it's pretty marketing and sexy, and everyone will rush out and buy it just from watching that. Maybe they put subliminal sounds in it that make our brains go, I want it! And they throw money at the screen and stuff. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's talk seriously about it. Guys, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good move from Akai? Do you think they're testing the waters, the big toe in the bathtub? What's going on here? Who wants to go first?
It's got that workstation attempt.
Brooksy had his finger up.
It is. Yeah, I was going to say, Darren, it's their workstation. But then again, an MPC is a workstation anyway. And I do think that the integration of a keyboard for a lot of potential users is a winner. It's that. I mean, even with my setup here, where I've got the MPC and I've got this little keyboard next to it, it still feels like there's a disconnect between the two boxes from me. Even though I use it a lot, I play this a lot and play the MPC sounds a lot from this keyboard. I like that idea. I mean, we've talked about it before. You know, the keyboard sampler. I think there's a lot to be said for it. And I think the new range of plugins, and I know that essentially what you've got is a computer and you're using a range of different synth plugins and stuff. They look fantastic. I mean, I'm slightly irked that it will cost £500 to purchase those plugins from Akai. I do understand. Inky made a point yesterday about, you know, unless they're going to start charging, there'll be no more updates at all for the MPCs. So there comes a point where they have to start trying to recoup something. I understand that. Well, £500 is a lot of money, particularly when you can buy an MPC one for 550. You know, really, I think that was a huge amount. You can buy them individually for £150, I think. But I was a little bit irked like that because I'd really love that grand piano one. I'd just love to have that plug-in. I might actually consider buying it, you know, because I think it'll be great. Because I'm actually, in my own head, I was thinking I'm going to buy an 88-note master keyboard, and that would be a good addition to have too. I think a lot of people will really like it, and there'll be plenty of people who will go, no, this isn't for me. I'm quite happy just with the. I mean, I'm not going to trade my MPC one in for that. I'm not. I'm going to stick with this and keep plugging away until the point where I actually feel like I know what I'm doing with it. But I think the new update is a good move too. I think that's got a lot of enhanced features. But I think they'll shift a lot of these. I think they'll be very successful.
Yeah. I'm going to go to you, Darren, in just one sec. But there was Kev Human just mentioned in the chat the guy on the Sonic State review. His name's Andy, by the way. He's been with Akai now for a while. Now, he did say something on the video which kind of I didn't think was quite correct, but we could split hairs about the definition here. And that was, he said that there hasn't been a sampling keyboard on the market for a while. And I kind of disagree, because didn't we just show the Roland Phantom one a few weeks ago? The new Phantom series, the Phantom 06, the Phantom 08, the Phantom 07.
Can you actually sample on those, or do they just simply allow you to put your own samples in?
You definitely can sample, and it will also... it'll chromatically put your samples across. It's actually quite intuitive. So having said that, I just wanted to add that point because I do think that may dissuade some of the discussions. Darren, did you want to say something quickly or longly?
I was pretty much what Andy said actually, but this is it's great. I think this is. I would say people who've got studios like us are probably not its main target, but people who have like not got a studio like this, it's like back to the harp of the old workstations, and this is like the new gen of workstation. I know the MPC is a workstation, but adding this keyboard and, like I say, the now possible VST sort of instruments that can you can buy for it type of thing is going to sort of set a new look of workstation, I think. So I think it's a great, and it's not, I suppose if you look at workstation and what you'll be able to do with it, the price isn't that bad. It's not a bad price really when you look at what old workstations used to be compared to your just basic synth. So I think it's good. Yeah. Will I get one? Probably not. I'd probably like Andy'd have a MPC. Main reason for the room. But I think if you've not got a studio, or you want to build a studio up from scratch, and you're just getting out into you haven't got the space of a big studio, great keyboard, and probably for live as well. I think it'd be great. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
I have to say I'm not so sure about live, Darren, because I'm a guy who uses a workstation live. I use a Korg Cross, which the Korg Cross will sample. Granted, it's pretty rudimentary, but I have put samples into it and I have played them live. My issues with this are, I'm not the MPC guy for a start. My main issue was that you can only load 8 plugins at a time out of the 20, and the load time's really quite slow. If you have a look at the Loop Pop review, it takes a couple of seconds, so you couldn't swap plugins live halfway through a song. You'd have to wait till the end of a song. No, I was quite surprised. I was quite surprised when I saw that, and I thought, because otherwise, I could see, if the load time. I've got a Korg Kronos here, and the startup time in that is about 1.5 minutes. But once you've loaded it, everything in it is there for live, and that's what this needs to have. Really, it needs to load everything that you want for the set, and not have to mess around in between songs loading.
So you're going to need 2
different plugins. Yeah, well, yeah, you are actually. Yeah, it's exactly it.
That's a good point.
And it's 1,700 quid. It's not for me. I could see it being really useful in the studio. I'm not the MPC guy, so it wouldn't be hitting my wallet.
Ranzee is an MPC and Force guy, so
what did happen there? Did I just press a button?
We went back to you, Ranz.
Yeah, we did. Well said, Ian. I think those points are actually really good as well, because I think if you look at some of those other keyboards that Moog listed before, he has listed a few more than just the Phantom. There was the Mod X, there was the Quantum, also from Waldorf, which Tim Showbridge was talking to me about during the week on Facebook as well. Those keyboards can also sample and put that in that recorded sample chromatically across your keys, and then you can use it as a synth engine and manipulate your sounds that way. So there's plenty, and they're not old. These things have been only released in the last 5 years. So I don't know what Akai are trying to play out here, but I think with a bit of sensibility, we shouldn't listen to some of that marketing hype that they pour out if they're verbal diarrhea. I do think it's a good product. I'm not dissing the product. I think it's a very, very good product. If we look at the picture, it looks really nicely designed. I think some people, once they load something on here, it'll definitely punch out some really interesting things. I think it's kind of like a one-man band type sort of setup where you've got drums, you've got keys, you've got samples, clips, all that sort of stuff. I think that's kind of where they're heading. It's a different take than what those other sampling keyboards would do. What about you, Andy? I'm interested to see your thoughts on this, because I know you kind of like the keys stuff.
Yeah. So I have an MPC 500 and I have an Akai Force. So I like some of the MPC stuff, but the thing that was funny about this, so obviously we knew it was coming because it was a leak. But the other reason it makes sense is that if you look at the Phantom 08 from many years ago, they basically took a Phantom and an SP404 and smashed them together. So very popular design. People like that a lot. Gives you all in one box, so it's a workstation with the nice pads and they light up and all that stuff. So it was inevitable they were going to do this, especially like Brooksy's not a finger drummer or a hip hop guy, yet he bought one because he wanted to use it as a drum machine. And with these cool plugins, it's a really good sample playback unit and keyboard type thing, as long as you hook up a keyboard to it. But if it's already ready to go with a keyboard in it, then it's going to satisfy a lot of people who bought it for that. So it just makes sense for them to go this way for people who aren't just, finger drummers and hip hop guys. One thing that's funny though is, so people are complaining about this, buying the instruments and the upgrade. And yes, the stuff does cost money to develop. It does cost money to keep developing and stuff like that. But I'll have to say that, speaking of workstations, OPZ, OP1, especially OP1, for 10 years has had free updates, add significant value every single time they do it, and it's always free. So you don't have to do that. People bitch about the price of this, but it comes with infinite updates forever. So,
well,
likewise my circuit.
That could be the price. The reason why you paid
that
circuit,
price. Same thing. Yeah, it's you can buy
We're
third-party stuff, or you
now.
can use editors and stuff. Yeah, and the free packs they give you.
If you want to talk about free firmware updates, anyone who owns a base station 2 would be loving that synth if they bought
the Aphex Twin upgrade. Yeah,
or the Aphex Twin, like that happened like 10 years after they released it, almost. So
and my Machina Plus I've been playing with. There are tons of free updates for that and free packs, and packs are only like $50 that are pretty detailed. So it's a cheap upgrade path, and not only that, the sampling on it is killer. I know the MPC has live sampling and auto sampling, but the Machina one I think might be better. It's really nice.
Yeah, look, I think one of the things we kind of forget is this ecosystem here. Akai have been developing this for the better part of 4 years now, and I've been through pretty much the whole firmware update regime with them, and probably showing videos on their firmware updates on my MPC anyway, which I've got the original MPC live here. There is absolutely no different the way the software works on all the MPCs, the MPC 1, the MPC X. It all works the same. The only difference on the keys is, like I said, it's got those extra instruments that Brooksy was talking about that if you want on your MPC, you'd have to pay like a license fee for it or something. But I will say this: don't forget, you can actually sample audio-wise. You can sample any instrument that you've got in your studio. So, say for example, I thought, okay, cool, I'll get my Ensoniq ESQ1 out, and I want to sample that. There's an auto sample feature on here which will run through all the notes, and it sends MIDI to it, and it will record every single note, and bang, you've got yourself key group, and you can do that on here already. So you don't necessarily need to go out and buy those pre-made things if you've got stuff in your studio already. This does give the opportunity for you to create your own stuff. So it's not like a completely useless piece of equipment that you must go down the route and buy stuff for it to be usable. It is definitely something that you could use with a keyboard, plug it in. Like you're saying, Brooksy, you find there's a bit of a disconnect if you've got a keyboard separately, if you connect it up to it. I think the next step will probably be for people like us to try out the key group feature on the new firmware update and just see if that brings the disconnect back to a connect. And if we do sort of like change our layout in our studio and put the keyboard in front of it and just see if it's going to be a workable solution. Because then if it is, maybe you won't need that. Okay. So that's kind of where we're heading with these things. Anyone else want to make a final comment? The chatties have been talking about it. A lot of people are I think they're mixed about this. Some people are definitely for this and some people are thinking, I will never buy it. So, and I think that's probably like any product really, isn't it?
I think so. I do think, if I didn't already have the MPC 1, I might be seriously tempted. I might be thinking, well, I'm saving up my pennies because this makes sense to me now. But I think, yeah, Darren was quite. I think his point about having it if you wanted to build a studio up, it's a really good starting point. Even though it's a very complex and deep machine, I think it's got a lot going for it. I really do. But as Ian's rightly pointed out, it's not for everybody. Yeah, the issue with 8 plugins at once can be a bit of frustration. I've come up against that one myself. But you just have to think your way around it, I suppose.
Yeah, I've never come across it myself, and that's probably because I don't I don't probably use my MPC the way other people use it. So, and that's just one of those things. And probably, I've also got a Force as well. So if you put the two together, you don't really need as much, I guess. Anyway, okay, we shall go on to the next bit of news. And that is Yamaha have registered a, what do you call it? A name or title or something for the acronym ANX. And everyone's kind of going goo-goo about this because the last time they released a really nice virtual analog synth is the one that's sitting behind Darren, or to the left of Darren, I think, is the AN1X. And I actually really, really rate the AN1X too. I think it's a very good synth. I've got its little baby. I've got the AN200. It's a really, really cool synth. So what do you guys think? There's nothing really that I can tell you about this other than the fact that they've registered it as a trademark. But let's speculate. Do you think it's time for Yamaha to bring out some sort of analog modeling thing? I mean, considering Roland have done
I do.
that market.
I like my AM1X.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I like my AM1X. So if they bring out a sort of 2022, 23 sort of version of it in as technology is now, and I think it'll be very nice. And that I may put on my list. I would have to see how good it is, but yeah, but for how much I like this, it's not to everyone's taste, but yes, I would quite happily consider one. I'd have to see what it comes out like, but yeah, I think that it'd be good for them to do it.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do something like the what were the small ones they did? Just I forgot what they called.
Reface.
You know, with the little CS reface. Unless I don't want to do a reface. I want to do a full.
Yeah, proper size.
Proper. Yeah, not something like a reface.
They've been quiet, haven't they?
So, yeah, I'll be happy.
Yamaha have been quiet in that sort of corner, haven't they? What do you think there, Ian?
I think it would be nice to see Yamaha getting back into making synthesizers rather than just, if you like, rehashing past things that they did. I mean, obviously they're a huge company. They probably sell more digital pianos and make more money out of digital pianos than they ever did in synthesizers. But I'd like to see them get back in this market, get their fingers dirty, and actually, do something new, something properly new. Whether they will or not is another matter.
Yeah, in the 90s they had quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was probably the last time that they really were innovating, if you think about it.
Yeah. After when we hit the noughties, that was it, sort of.
Yeah.
But they did a lot of a nice kit in the 90s in that dance area. So yeah, I think they should bring something back.
Yeah, if they're listening, come on, Yamaha, get your act together.
Yeah. If you got Roland there, and
Keith,
come on, get Yamaha.
Keith's come up with a great idea.
Battles of Roland and Yamaha.
Yes. You could play that on the park bench, the AN1-S. Good one there, Keith. Right. Edie, I know you're a Yamaha fan. What do you think?
Oh,
what do you think if they bring out an AN1X futurized and maybe they work out some magical way of virtualizing the CS80 in it that we don't know about? Some technology.
I love the AN1X, and I have the AN200 as well. But AN1X is a nightmare to program, as you guys know who have them. The performance area is excellent with the color-coded knobs, the little scenes, the ribbon, the keyboard. Everything feels really, really nice. It looks cool, all that stuff. But the editing is just a nightmare on it. So I don't edit much on it. So they could fix that with the new version. That would be excellent. AN200 was cool because it actually gave you, some easy access to the filters and some other stuff. Just like the DX200 actually gave you a real filter for an FM synth, which is pretty cool. But I think that would be great for them to do that. I have the EX5, which also has the AN circuit in it as well. for some, real basic version of it. It's not the full deal, but so yeah, it'd be excellent for them to come out with new stuff and just make it easier to edit. It doesn't have to look very different. Like a lot of things are coming out with retro, like, hey, it looks like Behringer's doing with all that stuff that looks like stuff. They may just come out with something that looks more modern, that has a proper, like a better screen, because I think the screen doesn't have a backlight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
No, the screen does have a backlight. It's a green one. It does.
Oh, it does.
Mine
does? Okay, it's just really faint, though.
Yeah, but it very goes. That's what a lot of people end up with the back screen, the backlight going, because mine's on its way now. It's getting fainter and fainter every time I switch it on.
Yeah.
I think mine's been out for a while, so but it's still usable.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, anything good from Yamaha. They've been rest on their laurels for years. I have a motif rack and a couple refaces are the only new things I bought from them in years. But I have tons of really old Yamaha stuff, like Robbie talks about, which is great. I love their legacy stuff is excellent. But after the motif stuff, and a little bit of the montage Modi X stuff, they got lazy. And
quiet. I wouldn't say lazy. I'd just say quiet. They used to punch out a fair.
Well, I mean, lazy in that they really targeted a couple certain markets, and basically said F everyone else, which they didn't do before. So
yeah, look, maybe
like we were saying,
maybe they've been busy.
The samplers and
they've been busy in labs doing stuff that that maybe the next generation of synthesizer is going to. I can't even talk properly. The next generation of synthesizer is going to come out from them. We don't know, right? They have been quiet. I think that from a big synth company,
a new CS80.
If you compare them to Korg, Roland, all the other big synth companies, they have been relatively quiet compared to what they've been like in the past. So either there's something big coming out.
They have in Japan, and all the stuff that came out over the years, and it's just phenomenal stuff.
Yeah. They were huge.
Now, like what? Now it's like Snake Eyes.
Now it's almost non-existent. Now
it's quiet. It's just quiet. I think. Yeah, we need. They do own a lot of the performance market, like with pianos and electric keys and things like that. So they've got really good quality gear. So I would love them to bring a new synth out that really is a game changer. I think that would definitely wet my whistle. All right. Let's see more from Yamaha.
To Korg, even compared to companies like Korg and Roland, Yamaha is a massive, massive company.
Oh yeah.
And
the
synthesizer part of Yamaha is a really small part of a massive company. Now, there was a comment made on Pro Synth Network last night about the number of units sold, like say a Korg Mod Wave or something like that. For every one of those that a shop sells, they're shifting something like 6 to 10 Modi X's, motifs, that kind of thing. And as for the digital pianos, they sell in huge numbers, like Andy's already said. So the pure synthesizer part of the market is really tiny, which is why that organisation is probably just going, we don't need to worry about that. We're making this stuff. It's there. People buy it. Because that live performer market for them is where it's at, really. But I agree with everything that everybody said. It would be really lovely to see Yamaha come out with something new, interesting, and hopefully with a user interface that people can use.
That would
they're notorious for getting that wrong.
Yeah, I do like the Mod X though.
That's one of the reasons I didn't end up with the AN1X. Way back in the early 2000s, I didn't. I tried it out. I liked it. I really liked the sound, but I didn't like the way it programmed at all. I found it difficult. I didn't go for the JP8000 because it was a 4-octave keyboard rather than a 5-octave keyboard. That's why I settled with the Supernova, and the Supernova was also multi-timbral. Not that I ever used the multi-timbral side of it very often, but that was why I went that way. I could easily have given the AN1X house room, but I found, like Andy said, the programming system just that bit awkward. So there we are. I hope they do.
Those three you mentioned, Andy, those three keyboards you mentioned were the keyboards I always wanted, and I only ended up with getting the AN1X in the end. So because I thought, but yeah, those three is what I was always after.
All right, move on. We are going to bring up the next news topic item. Now, this is just going to be a quick one. Why does that keep disconnecting on me? We are going to do this one.
It wants the AM1X.
What the hell's going on here? It just keeps not working.
It's gremlins.
Yeah.
Plus, he said he'd solved it.
Oh, I know why.
Yeah.
No, it's the image is not showing. Sorry, guys. I have a little technical issue here. Why is the image not showing? News. It's weird. Maybe I need to refresh it. There we go.
Yay.
There's the answer. So I do want to talk about this because last week I talked about its brother, I guess you call it, the what was it called now? The Wonderland. So this is not
8x8.
Yeah. So this is not the Wonderland. This is called the Looking Glass, which is a 5x5 mixing hub. And I just wanted to show it because I think some people probably don't want the big 8x8 one. They might want a smaller one. But unlike the Wonderland, it has losing my brain tonight. The attenuators down the side, so you've got 1 to 5, which is kind of a different sort of layout setup. And I just think for what are we talking about? £160, or if you want to build one yourself, it's like £40 for the PCB and the panel. It is so cheap. These are really, really good for people that are getting into sort of more performing-based Euro-rack setups. Trust me when I tell you, these are very, very handy things indeed. Like I probably would get this one. I don't know if I need the 8x8, but this one looks to be very, very useful. It's, how many HP did they say it was? I've got the website here.
Looks about 12.
Where's the HP on this? Why don't they tell us on the website? Okay, don't tell me on your website. Fair enough. Product specs, maybe? 14 HP, there we go.
12 to
14
12,
HP.
Yeah, 14.
So, like I'm just bringing this to people's attention. I know because a lot of people watch and they're into Eurorack. That's going to be just a handy way to route things. So you've got 5 coming in and 5 going out. So that means you can send any 5 to any 5, and then convolutions of those 5. So technically 25. Whatever options, I guess. And then you can invert them as well. So, but if you want to get that sort of more craziness, the Wonderland one's got the 8, so there's even more. I just don't know. Anyway, that's it for news. Yeah. Anyone want to comment on the Eurac stuff? Just thought I'd mention it just briefly, but not really much to add. No. Cool. Now, Andy, we are going to do this. And you have an absolute lifesaver this week because I actually haven't had a chance to look at anything come up. So maybe I might get you to talk about these. Do you mind if you want to talk about these? Because I actually haven't even had a chance to look at them.
No, that's fine. So this one was the funniest one of the bunch because I forgot how I found this. I was looking for something else, and I just said, "You got to be kidding me!" I mean, if this was like played by Stevie Wonder and kissed by Dave Smith and whatever else, maybe it's worth more than the $120 it costs normally to buy it or whatever. But 2 of these things is a Monotron Duo and the Monotron Delay, which are actually excellent little guys. I have both of them, especially the Delay is a nasty, wicked delay circuit. But 2 of them for that much money is completely insane, of course. So someone's, the old taking the piss thing. Someone's taking a giant one. So,
you've got to read. You've got to read what's written there. It's just so much river of diarrhea of BS that you've ever. And he's even he's even laughing down the bottom. I think it's P155 entry. This one. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well done. Good pickup. Definitely good pickup. All right. What about this one?
This one I love because I love alternative controllers, and somebody went to the the full extent of getting this modded in Italy. I think it says for about $2,000. So Wagyu would love this because it's a mod, but it's it's cool because it's one of these wacky keyboard controllers, alternative controllers, kind of like the Axis 49 that I have, the hexagonal chordal key layout. And I just think it's really clever when they do stuff like this. They're experimental. You can make chord shapes very simply. And this particular one I'm not that familiar with, the key controller, but in general, these chordal ones, if you go up, it's thirds. If you go diagonally, it's fifths. And it's really easy to make sevenths.
So
with a slightly different directional change.
Do you put your fingers like horizontally? Is that how you do it, or do you put them along?
So you can make, like, for example, on my Axis 49, I can make a little triangle with my fingers.
Yeah.
And push down on the 3 neighboring pads, and that's a triad.
Yeah.
And then if I
that makes sense. Yeah.
I think it's, if I go vertically with 3 fingers, it's a fifth, and diagonally it's a seventh. I forgot. I haven't used it for a while.
Is it an
really cool stuff.
accordion fingering? Is that how? Is that what it is?
This one might be the left side one is more accordion style, but the right side is more the hexagonal kind of thing of a jig. So
because
good pick up there.
It's a weird.
Yeah, because accordion is like major, minor, sevenths, augmented, diminished, isn't it?
Yep.
Is the layout of them.
I actually wouldn't mind something like that. Not this particular synth, but like I reckon that's actually pretty cool. That's good fun to play with. Like one of the things you can do on like, the Ableton push and those sort of, those pad with the multi-grid pads, you can do those sort of weird key layouts. They're good fun. All right. I think there's one more, isn't there? Yes.
I think so.
Oh.
Andy?
I've just seen the price.
Often, so kind of nice. Yeah.
Mm.
Good stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, there's nothing else with it, just the computer. So
yeah. Does it make coffee?
Cool.
It does have an
Can't be very many
DSR.
of those around.
What's an AP DSR? Obviously, it's some sort of EG, but what's AP DSR? What does the P stand for? I'm having a mental blank today.
I don't know. Native Yes would know this one really well. Too bad he's not here to talk about it.
He's not here. Robert's gone. Yeah. Because there's usually hold, and what's the other one? The Korg 800s, the Poly 800s have got the weird one as well.
Is it just pause? Like,
yeah,
is
maybe
it just another hold?
Yeah, maybe it's hold and pause. You might be right, Brooksy. Yeah. But double the memory bank if you're wanting. That's why you're spending the big bucks. So that was it for Price Watch. Thanks for Andy for being a lifesaver for this week, for bringing us in. I mean, it just saved me having to do a little bit of extra work, and it actually gave me some free time to do something which you'll find out about a little bit later. Plus, also put this studio special in today, which we're going to do in a sec. But before we do that, what was your favourite Price Watch this week before we hit the next button?
I like the Nord accordion, actually. I thought that was really quite interesting. And they're expensive anyway, so $3,500, whatever it was, I didn't think was stupid for something which is actually really quite unique and would have cost, I suppose, a fair chunk to get it modded properly. Yeah,
in the
listing,
the guy said in the listing it cost him over $2,000 to mod it. So it's not a bad, probably not a bad price.
The Nordion.
The Nordion.
Yeah. And several months ago, someone had taken those Axis 49 controllers and mounted them the same way.
Right.
So different than accordion, but basically the same kind of idea with chordal shapes and stuff.
Wagyu seems to think the P in AP DSR may stand for peak, which is interesting. So peak.
Ken Lewis says
after the attack
as well.
Interesting. That's got us all thinking, hasn't it? That one, the P.
Research.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't we do this? Yes, it's time for everybody's favourite Name That Synth, and brought to you by a plugin guru who are awesome to bring a prize for our little humble little synth channel. So yeah. Now this week we have got a doozy for you. So everyone get down on your chair, put your headphones on, tell everyone to shut up, make everything quiet in your home, and get ready because we are going to play Name That Synth, and you will have a little bit over about a minute to put your guesses in now. Now, where's my button gone? Here we go. Now, we need audio from here. Now, hopefully this works. 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, now I'm going to give you, I'm being very nice today, I'm going to do this one for you. Give you a little bit longer to think about it. Yes, time is up. Did anyone get it? Let's have a little look at the chatties to see if anyone got it. Now, as you know, where it says time is up, any entries after my time is up, unfortunately, we can't take them. So what have we got? We've got Fizmo, we've got a Moog something, we've got some kind of Casio. We have completely bedazzled the whole synth world today, I think. Sorry, Kev, your entries are a little bit late. All right, I think, what do you reckon, guys? I know it's too late now to guess, but any thoughts? You had a listen. Come on, have a little bit more of a... What do you think? What do you think it is? Or do you want
what
me
I was trying to say.
Do you want me to put you out of the misery?
I have absolutely no idea.
Ooh.
No idea.
Ooh. Well, okay. So remembering the rules of this is that you must only play the audio that can come out of the synthesizer. You mustn't be able to manipulate the sound with effects or EQ or compression or anything like that. So it is the raw sound.
Lady Aptitude wants you to show it again.
Nah, too late.
Yeah.
Too late now. Oh, that's the wrong button.
Yamaha SY22.
This is the button I want, sorry. Okay, here we go. We're going to reveal it.
Cheat.
No cheating. It's one synthesizer.
Is that a synthesizer?
It is a synthesizer. It is one synthesizer. There is no cheating in that.
Yeah.
It is a 2500. It's all the 25, not all the 2500 modules either. It's just a couple of the 2500 modules. There's no cheating at all. It's used. It was me that did it. Gotchas. No, it was fun doing that one because I just wanted to, introduce to you people that it doesn't have to be a keyboard. It can be a modular synth. It can be any synthesizer, right? We've had people use K-oscillators, so let's not forget about that. So, so you had one oscillator. This was before I had the two oscillators too when I did this. One oscillator, one envelope generator, the filter amp module, and the noise generator module, the random noise generator. They were the only modules I used. So I can actually tell you the module numbers. I remember the filter amp module one. Not that one. So module number 1004, module number 1006, module number 1033, which was the EG, but I didn't use and the noise gen was 1016. And in the video, I even made it really like obvious. I'm surprised you guys didn't pick it up. I even put pictures of the knobs, and there was even the multi-mode oscillator. There was a switch. You would have seen it with the waveform
now we've got
diagram
we've
next
got
to you.
Go for the fact that you've done it in negative.
Yes, I did. Yes, I made it negative. That's cheating. It's not. You're allowed to manipulate the video.
Sound, and you made it sound as naff as you possibly could. I mean,
you have to do the negative, like I do with the OB12, because the blue just gives it away. The knob
must have taken hours to make it sound as weedy as that.
Yeah.
So that everyone thinks you're playing the overtone or something.
Compared to this. The thing is, you can't put effects in it. So, you know, I probably could have used ring mod and all that sort of stuff as well. I just, how much time do I have to put a 1 minute video together, honestly? But the second part of it, I after I revealed it, I had effects running on it. So it sounded a little bit more, a bit fatter with the effects and reverb and delays and stuff. Yeah. Sorry.
The spring reverb would have been fair.
If you can do better, Brooksy, then send one in. If you can do better, send one in. You're allowed to do anything you like with the video to try and trick you, but you can't do anything with the audio. So the audio has to be real, but you can do anything you like with the video. All I did with the video is I just reversed.
So you can show a completely different synth and play some.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. There's the oscillator selection. There's the EG.
Yeah.
Look at that. There's the multi-mode switch. There's the FM2 knob. Right. It's all there. Look, there's even a 3.5mm jack. So you got to be paying attention, people. That was fun. I like that one. Probably because I can't win, by the way. So was anyone close?
No. Actually,
everyone's throwing their synths at the screen right now.
Eddie said he mentioned ARP.
Eddie did mention ARP, yeah.
So he was ARP close. Odyssey. Yeah.
He was close.
Not close enough.
Yeah, but he got the sound. So
Adam demands a steward's inquiry.
Well, like I say every week, you guys out there are welcome to send me a video and see if you can trick the synth world like I just did. And all you've got to do is be a little bit clever with your video editing, but just make sure that sound. You got to be really honest about the sound. You can't put any trickery in the sound. So, yep. One of the things that kind of made that really hard is at the time when I actually originally recorded that audio, I had a problem with getting it in tune. So it probably would have sounded a little bit sort of floaty out in the tunes. Like you probably find if you were to put a tuning meter on that, there's no perfect, C or perfect D. Do you know what I mean? Like it would have been slightly out of tune, which is fun to do, detuning your synths. So quite often some of the classic songs that we like, they've got detuned synths in them. So yeah. Right. No one's won. Oh, it's a bit sad. What can we do? Everyone's got the bottom lip out. Fantastic. All right. Well, don't leave it to me to do one because every week I'll make it harder. So on that particular note, we are going to do this. We're going to do Subscriber Studios. Yeah, we are. And thanks for hanging around for this long anyway to put up with me. And that you don't put up with these guys. These guys are awesome, but you do have to put up with me, which kind of sucks. But I am going to bring you guys in to the world of everyone's studio, starting with, now I do believe this is yours, Brooksy. So what we can do with this, I believe,
it's
is
not that current either.
now position on the main. Now I do believe we can zoom in on this stuff. Look at that. So, so you took this photo a little while ago, did you?
Oh, yeah, it's all been rearranged since that was taken.
I don't know how well we can zoom and pan. So I've got like sliders to do this. It's not like a mouse I can move around. All right, so you got your Pro 1, your Model D in your rack there. You got your 960. What else is next to that? What's in between the Model D and the? That's the dope
quantizer.
Yep,
quantizer.
Now you've added that. You've added a module to the right of that sequencer too now, haven't you?
Oh yeah, that was the switch from that Wagyu sent me. Yeah, that's in there. The quantizer's come out is in the right hand case. That right hand case now is actually absolutely full. There's only 2 HP left in it now, so that's. Do you know? I should send you a modular grid picture, shouldn't I? Of what's in that, of how that's arranged.
Yeah, we can do that. But interestingly, you've still got this gear. So there's your
all those bits is there. Yeah,
there's your beat
that's all still used
stat.
like that.
There's your key stat. There's your MPC. Sorry, it's really hard for me to scroll. There's your SH101 or SH010, I should say. TD3, and then your MPC. Right, so that's all there is on that photo. If I reset all this, that's what we saw. Okay, next. I think there was a next photo for you. I chose the one with less tissues on the floor, Brooksy.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just took them on the floor. Then don't make any rude comments. I never think about things like that.
It's just
I'm just kidding with you, mate. Okay, so that's just a different view with the
tissues everywhere. Sorry, it's been like that for ages.
That's just a different view with the MPC and that. Nice, beautiful, and also, as you guys are aware, he's also got a Novation Nova behind on the other side, and he's also got a real Pro 1 as well. All right, what else have we got next?
Yeah, I've actually got some photographs. I don't know where they've gone to, but never mind. I sent you the wrong ones.
That's okay. This one is Makeshifter, who we commonly known as Chris. So thanks for sending this in. Now this is a really high res photo, so we can't do that. We can zoom in. Like, look at that. We can zoom right in, and we can go, all the way around the studio. Behringer Crave, Poly 800. How far can we go here? Can we go up a bit? This is being a little bit difficult. So I don't know if this is going to reveal anything up here. He's got screwdrivers and stuff up there. What else? Let's go down. Here we go. Some Eurorack stuff. Here we go. So some Behringer stuff. We got some chromatic modules from Dreadbox. So that's good.
Mm.
What else? What's this thing here, people? You should all recognise that.
Impact.
Drum Brute Impact.
Nice.
Nice. Let's zoom out again. Where else do we want to go? We've got top left. So we can go top left up here. So if we zoom,
I see a boutique in there.
Zoom, go up.
Oh.
So that's a Roland SEO2, I think. Yeah.
No, it's the JX, isn't it?
Or is it the? Oh, it's JX03.
That's the
There we go.
yeah,
Yeah, we go.
JX.
Yeah. And beat step. What have we got there? Underneath the desk savers. Minilog XT, yeah. Okay.
Is it?
I can't notice. I don't.
Looks a bit long. It looks a bit long for an XD.
All right, let's go out again.
I'd say that's Korg like.
But one thing I like
and
about
it does look like a Korg.
one thing I like about his studio is he is showing the real. You know, this is a real person's studio. This is one that he works in. He's got screwdrivers. He probably tinkers a bit with soldering irons. He's got Eurorack. You know, this is his workspace, and he's he's got some notes that he sticks to the bottom of stuff. I reckon. See, to me, this is the essence of what's out there in the world. I love seeing photos like this. Someone hasn't got the perfect looking studio, you know, with everything's all neat and, you know, everything all tucked away. This is a real true worker's studio. This is awesome. I like how he's got the patch cables there. Awesome, Chris. That one's awesome. What else can we show? Cress heads. There we go. Look at those drums, eh? Beautiful. He's got that nice E-drum, Roland E-drums, V-drums, I should say, set up. Now, I don't know how much zooming we can do on this. Let's try. We'll go there because we want to show the JDXI. I love the JDXI, you guys know that. There's the Akai MPC1. And what's below the JDXI? What's there? Let's zoom in on that. Go across that way. That's the little TR or T6. That's that little new thing that we were recently talking about. That's that new tiny little Roland thing. See with the coloured knobs? And then below it, he's got the, is it the RC505? Brooksy, did you just send me some more photos, did you?
Just the rack, the full rack.
So then he's got the he's got the modded TD3, that TD3 MO, and then the original TD3. There you go. That's a nice little sort of setup. I think, you know, with that,
it's cool, that.
With the looping, the MC, whatever it is, the RD505, whatever you call it, I forget now. The 505 anyway, the loop, RC505, yeah. That's going to be really handy. And also you've got the sequencer on the JDXI as well. Plus you've also got the sequencer on the MPC1. So nice stuff. Steve, good work. Beautiful. So it doesn't have to be, you know, the best studio in the world. It doesn't have to be the worst studio in the world either. Just show us your studios. This one is David's, who's in one of our channel members. So let's get this one zooming.
Oh, he's got a continuum as well. Oh, that's nice, Dave.
Yeah.
Which way should we go? We'll go to his rack.
Nice.
I'll try and zoom this.
Yeah, nice old effects.
So the two
DB5.
Rolands, yeah.
Mexican.
The DX.
Yeah, Reface DX. Nice.
Like the teddy bear.
Modular. Nice teddy bear.
Yeah, go ahead, Teddy. All right, let's go and have a look in his modular. Now I just missed my mouse. There it is. Up. There we go. That's looking good. That's looking good. He's got some mutable instrument stuff there. Wow, very nice mutable instrument stuff there. He's got the 4MS. Yeah. Liking that. Nice. Lots of chromatics there too. How are you feeling with the chromatics? Obviously you're liking them. Some good chromatics in there. So, is that a drum? What is that? Another drum break impact?
Yeah. What's in the other case? There's a little box. Yeah, there. Oh, it's a
That's a Magneto. Yeah, I remember him telling us he got one of those. Interesting.
Ooh, very nice, David. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a really good. I like the little TED up there too. That's awesome, David. Awesome, mate.
Yeah.
All right, now this is Inverted Pope's studio. You guys probably would recognise this.
Yorkshire IP. Oh,
yeah.
Lovely.
All right, so let's start from the left with his Eurorack setup. Yorkshire IP. So he's got the 960 as well. Nice. What else has he got there? Sometimes a little bit blurry, but
that's a morphogene, a couple of 2HP.
Mutable.
Marbles.
Yeah. Maths next to the...
Maths, Pamela's. That's the dual oscillator, the Behringer dual oscillator, the System 100. It's got System 55 oscillators in there too.
Yeah, over on the right there.
And
then he's got
his lovely
Moogs.
His lovely Moog stack. Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
ARP, the Behringer 2500.
Yep. Okay, and then we'll go down. And then he's matriarch and his grandmother.
Yeah. Very nice, Mr. Popes. We like that a lot.
Very good indeed. And then over on the right is his workstation and his MIDI controller. And you guys have seen many MIDI videos from him, so that's where he's punching out all those beautiful ambient tunes from. He does really nice stuff actually from there.
Oh, lovely.
I mean, the big thing that Popesy does is the Moogs. So I was talking to him about this, maybe a year or so ago. But one of his things that he likes to do is he likes to set the MIDI clock to really low, like to the minimum it can go. Say it's only 30 BPM or 50 B, whatever the minimum the MIDI clock can go. And then he just likes to drone out the sequences that way and just have movement in his effects pedals and things like that. I think it's a really nice way of producing, and it's something that you don't see often. That's kind of the point there. Thanks, Chob, for that. That's awesome. What do we got now? This is Steve Ward's. Did I see Steve today? I can't remember if I saw him or not. But big
he was
shout
in the
out
chat.
to Steve. Good.
Very nice.
Very nice. So we got these are obvious. Now, one of these is we need to go straight to it up the top here. There, up the top. Look at that. Hey, look at that. Radius.
Is it?
It's a Radius. They are great synths. Gosh. This little black duck's got one of those. One of the things about the Radius that a lot of people don't realise is it is a VA synth. It's based on the MMT thing that Korg brought out. But there's also other type of waveform manipulation that you can do in it as well, and you can actually blend them together. So you can actually, there's some almost kind of the only synth you can do is on the Radius. There's some kind of synthesis in this synth that makes it kind of unique, and that's why a lot of people go for them. They're a little bit rare actually to get now. I don't know where they've disappeared to. And I think Korg sold a lot of them anyway. The 8000 and the 800. Isn't it interesting how you see?
Nice.
I don't often see them together like that. I actually do like seeing them together because they're both kind of different beasts, aren't they? When you think about it, one's kind of like a VA, and the other one is kind of, like a digital. The next thing from a D50 type thing, the editable D50 version in a way. So, yeah, I like it. Like it a lot. And he's got a modular over on the right, and I think there's another photo of the modular on the right, but we can...
He's got a couple of rack brutes on the floor too, underneath the JD.
We can check that out. I think there's another photo, we can check that out. Yeah, he's got rack brutes down on the floor, yeah. Well spotted there, Brooksy.
He's got those. It looks like he's got the two Go cases linked.
Yeah, I do that. They're definitely worth linking.
What are you using to link them? Are you linking them with the IntelliGel things?
No. When you mean linking, I just mean
tip top. The tip top.
No, I'm just using the feet. You can actually see it in this photo. Let me zoom in for you.
No, I mean it looks like they're rather than just being propped up on their feet. Looks like they're linked together with a linking system.
Oh, you just use the feet, the case feet.
No, not the Arturia ones. The Behringer Go cases.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't know. There's your answer to that. Sorry, I was completely thinking of something else then. Well, there's a better photo for you. Anyway, you might be able to check there.
Nice.
Or maybe he have the Mantis? Oh no, he's got the Behringer. So he might have the Mantis linking thing on that. You might have to ask him.
Yeah, I think they do work. Let us know in the chat if you would, Steve. That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, let's zoom in on here, see what modules he's got. This is good fun. I like doing this. Sticky beaky. Let's go left and up. Up. So all the Behringer stuff. System 100s all the way across there. Some nice modules there. Yeah.
Chord module.
Very nice. Come with dopers. Mutables.
Little mixers, little clouds. SEM filter.
The black thing modular. That's
Two of
cool.
those.
The Turing machine. I want to get one of those. The massive big knob on that thing. Pamela's workout. That's handy. This is a really nice modular setup. This is.
It's got some cracking stuff in there.
Got the
That's what I'd
data.
like mine to look like eventually.
ROM pool. Yeah, that's very, very nice. He's got the Bafako Hex system.
Mix, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Black sequencer from
Oh, look.
Erica.
And an A111-6. Black
Yeah,
one.
black one.
Silver. Mine's silver.
Yeah. Oh, the drum sequencer from Erica. Oh, look at the big knobs and buttons on that, eh? That is a thing of beauty. That is a very, very nice looking bit of kit, that is. That's awesome, Steve. I think he sent one more photo in. Yeah, that's right, he did too. So this is his
Supernova.
this is modular stuff down here. Let's have a look. See if we can zoom in a bit more. So he's got the MIDI Express, he's got the Behringer ADAT module, the 88-8200. I don't know what that thing is underneath, though. Someone might be able to pick that out. I can't read it, it's blurry. What is that? Is that a T?
It's an audio interface, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. What
It's
it is.
electronic
it
of some
is.
kind.
So then he's got the
Akai S3000.
Akai S, and then the Novation. Beautiful.
Yeah, Supernova.
Nice. And on top, if you didn't pick it, you would have been very, very quick to see the Korg wave state. Beautiful. They're a nice synth, the Korg wave state. They definitely are. Good value for money, I think. I think that might have been all he sent in. I know there's more. But wait, there's more. Good on you, Steve, for sending all these pics in.
Gosh.
So let's go and have a look
Okay.
up on the right-hand side. And we'll go
Is
up.
that a Triton stood up in the corner?
I'm trying to get this thing. This is so hard to move. There we go. So he's got the Korg, what's it called?
MS-2000.
MS-2000, which is kind of like
2000.
a radius, but not quite. I think it's only 4 voices, that thing.
Yeah. Electro.
Yeah, it's a. Has he got wooden sides on his Electro? Has he? Nice.
Kurzweil of some kind, is it?
Yeah, it's a K2K, I think. A K2K? I'm not sure. There's the Access Virus.
Kurzweil.
Plenty of places to put your beer.
Nice.
And the
Oh,
Yeah.
M1.
amazing M1.
Is this guy married?
I shouldn't. Yeah. I should never have sold my M1.
What's he working on there? Should we have a sneaky peek? Everyone seems to have a key step, don't they? I think Arturi did really, really well.
Key step
What's that
for
synth in the
yeah.
corner? Is that a...
I think it's a digital piano, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Yamaha type
Well,
PS
is
type
it?
thing, is it?
I'm not so sure. Well,
Got built-in
actually, it has got
speakers.
speakers, so
It's
it's
definitely
not.
Yamaha.
Yeah, so yeah.
I'd say
At
it's one of
first I
those
thought,
PS
because it was
things.
silver, I thought it was one of the Triton, but it's not. No.
Yeah, it's definitely Yamaha. I saw the Yamaha logo on it. Nice, well done, Steve. And there's more. Just another photo of his desk. Nice of you to vacuum your floor too, mate. Good on you. Good job.
I'm picking your tissues up.
Yeah, just talk to Brooksy. What do we got?
Now you can see the links now, can't you?
Yeah, you can. What about there? What's that? What is that?
Is it one of those
That's a
M
MIDI
audio?
Controller of
Is
some
that
kind.
a MIDI
Just
controller?
a controller.
There you go. That looks like the links that you're talking about, Brooksy. That looks like the Mantis ones.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Beautiful. That is it that everyone sent in. Now, I know, Brooksy, you sent me one more thing, didn't you? Oh, that's right, the rack. The rack. Okay, let's do that. Give me a sec to put this in, guys. Okay, now if all is well, I'll just click on this button here and reset all, and then refresh. And then if we go back to here, there we go. Now we can zoom in and look at Brooksy's rack. Starting from the left, let's zoom out a tiny bit. It's a bit more. Oh, this is so hard to do with the mouse. Okay, Brooksy, narrate, please, sir, kind sir.
All
Left to
right.
right. Narrate.
Top row.
Yep.
Top row left is a Dupfer buffered mult, the dual oscillator 112 module, the dual filter 121, the dual VCA 130, the dual envelope and LFO 140, and the 110. Next to that is the one, can't remember what it's called, 153 module, yeah. Noise,
What?
sample and hold,
150.
ring mod.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah, 153, I think, whatever it is. Yeah. Then next to that, there's the A1116 miniature synthesizer voice from Dupfer, which I've just got. Wasp filter from Dupfer, which is just a crazy bonkers thing. And Dupfer 4 free running LFOs, they're really useful. Then there's the phaser flanger sort of effects unit with another LFO in it, and then an ADAC buffered mult on the right. That was sent to me by Sensian. Thanks for that. It's really useful. These things are always useful. So the nice thing about the System 100 is it actually sort of mults itself, but having the buffered mults is really, really handy. So the bottom row, are we going to go from right to left this time? So now on the right, you can see that's the mutable Platts. Really enjoying using that. Next to the Platts is Bessimilla Ceteritas Alta. That's just a mad module. I've got that being modulated by the LFOs above, and then also then going through the Wasp filter. That's how I've been using that recently, and that's just producing some really great sort of interesting rhythmic sounds. The VPME QD quad drum, getting more into that, getting some more interesting sounds out of it, using some of the little synth models and stuff. It's quite good fun sending that modulation too. Then Precision Adder from Dupfer. Bought that off Mac. But really useful little box. It's great for using it to transpose sequences. Just at a flick of a switch, you can set it to transpose up a fifth, down a fifth, whatever you want. It's really, really useful. Really enjoyed using that. Sequential switch. I've been using that with 2 oscillators to send the sequence in, and then have it trigger so that it triggers the 2 oscillators in different ways, and then I've got them panned left and right, so you get interesting sort of stereo effects. Tim Shoebridge did a great video on that, actually. His video on that's really useful. The 182 step sequencer, really, really love that, actually. It's just so easy to use. I send that triggers from the BeatStep Pro so that it's not just playing 8 steps, it's playing them rhythmically. And again, you can take out 2 different sets of CVs to the oscillators and stuff. But quantizer, definitely need the quantizer with that, because the knobs cover a big range. Euclidean circles, not really quite got my head into the Euclidean circles. It's one I keep meaning to play more with, but never quite get around to. 2 effects units, which are plugged into the Tesseract mix system. Now, on the left-hand side there, you see I've got 4 mono channels, 4 stereo channels, and then the output module, it's got 2 auxiliary sends. So one's going into the FX8 XL and one's going into the Z5000, just as reverbs and delays. I just find that way of being able to affect anything using auxiliary sends just more flexible than it takes quite a lot of space, but it's a flexible sort of thing. And then on the very left hand side, from York Modular, which again I bought off Matt, is a wave folder. It's not that useful really, to be honest. It does do folding, but there's no way of modulating it, which is a bit irritating. So.
Yeah, you really do need
But
to
anyway,
have
it's just,
a CV on that, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do really, and but it's there. It cost me very much so that's me. That's what I call me big boys, right? That's what I'm taking to these sort of EMOM events. That's set up now with the BeatStep Pro. Makes quite a nice little gigging system.
Yeah. One thing that you if you can get yourself a copy. Not a copy. What am I saying? If you can get yourself a used Metropolis, because you know how they Intelligible brought out the new one called the Metropolix. So if you can get yourself a Metropolis, because I know a lot of guys were moving on their Metropolises and getting the Metropolix, you might be able to pick one up pretty cheap, and they are based on that 182 sequencer. They're actually Roland actually brought out
the
185
upgraded one with the little switches. Yeah.
And you can do ratcheting and stuff like that on that. If you do have little scope in your budget or something, see if you can get that. You'll probably find that you'll replace it with that, and I think you'll find there's a little bit more usefulness out of it. It's got a few other tricks.
Or there's
the
RYK 185. They also do one which I think is basically a kit, but you can get them built. Again, that looks interesting too. I know that
it's a bit
Native
smaller
BS,
too.
he's got one of those. And
a little bit smaller in HP.
Yeah.
And the new ROIKs you can chain too.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Andy, did you want to? I noticed you were playing around with your cameras and stuff. Did you want to do a bit of a tour of what you've got there?
Oh yeah, I can. So I hope it's in focus. So you already saw. You see the crap behind me all the time. You already saw this one.
It's definitely not crap.
See the. Oh, yeah. You can see the display there on the Venom. But I turned the modular one on. I think it's still in focus, but I bumped it, so we'll see.
Oh, very pretty.
Wow, it's great.
I don't know if you can zoom in. This isn't a fixed camera. I can't zoom it.
Don't know if I can. And also, it's only going to be 720p, so I really don't know what I can do with this.
Right.
But
I mean, you can kind of see in general what you got from there. It's still a little bit. It's not as sharp as it should be. I need to focus it better. But in general, you can see the Buffaco hex mix with the hexpander in the middle. God, I've used it for a while. I'm forgetting the name already. The Bitbox Micro next to it.
Yep.
Triggering a bunch of drum samples. That's what the audio is playing right there. And then I have a bunch of the aftermarket mutable stuff because it's either smaller or just more affordable. So the one next to the Bitbox Micro is actually the elements, mutable elements in a smaller format with light up jacks, which is kind of clever. So if you know, elements is a full synth voice with all the it's basically the pingable string kind of synthy kind of stuff with built-in effects and built-in basically a full synth voice. You can fully control it by itself. You don't need to hook it to anything else. Going across, I forgot what some of these are because I don't use them all the time. On the far right is a funky multi-mode Steiner Parker filter. And you can see, you can't see because it's not focused too well, but it's actually sticking out of the case. It's very deep module, so I had to use standoffs to make it fit in the case. So I use these metal standoffs to have it stick above the case a little bit.
Like those things that you put in the PC cases?
Yeah, basically. These are metal ones, and they and there's still enough room to have this patched and have the covers on these IntelliGel 7U cases, which I love. And also to make them lean the way they are, because they're normally freestanding and the legs make them lay real flat, which I don't like. So I bought the ADAC legs you can buy. They sell these leg kits where you can lean things so they lean at the right angle and still have support, so you can patch them and they don't fall over and stuff. You can see the wavetable the Waldorf wavetable
Bottom right. Yep.
on the bottom right there. That's a super one. You can actually load in your own vocal shit to it into with the microphone. It's pretty clever actually. And then there's a micro plats there in the middle. So again, rebranded, mutable stuff. Next to that is one of my favorites, Paul Schreiber's pitch. What is it? The circuit bent speak and spell with some extra waveforms. And
Oh
you
yeah, I
can
remember
basically
that. Yeah.
trip it out and do really fun stuff with it, with the speech. And I used it on one of my things, my jam I did a while back. A friend put in one of his videos, but pretty fun. Next to that is the O'Toole Plus, because I didn't have room for the Mordax data, and it was also a lot more money. That's mostly that case. To the left, you have some of my older stuff, the mutable braids with the LED display on it. And to the left of that is the Tip Top. Is it the 5000? I think it is. It's the one of the original oscillators, the multi oscillators that has lots of crazy stuff in it, tons of jacks and stuff. Next to that is kind of a rhythm thing I set up with a custom mult and mixer with some other things. It's unfortunately it's dark though, so I can't even see what I'm looking at. But next to that is the Modcan touch sequencer, which is really clever. You can use a little stylus on the screen and set up.
So that's the
4
big
layers
screen
of
thing in
touch
the middle,
sequence.
is that?
Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
and there's a little stylus that's velcroed to the side of it.
Yeah, I
there.
can
You
see it.
I can
Yeah.
pull that off and tap on the screen and build like up to 4 layers of modulation or pitch sequencing or whatever, which is clever. A bunch of small ones in the middle that are hard to see there. You can clearly see the large make noise morphogene. Next to the morphogene is the touch strip, LS1 light strip, which is really clever, which you can do live or actually record the movements. Next to that is the Deptford ratcheting controller.
Right.
So I can do ratchets with the with one of the sequencers I have in there.
Would that work with?
There's actually a mod for that.
Would that work with just any sequencer?
Yeah, totally. Because I don't have the.
That might be an idea for Brooksy.
So and there's a mod for it a guy did where he went in and did some tweaks to it, so you don't have to rely on the toggle switches. And the next to that is another mutable knockoff. I think that's the it's the smaller version of Elements. I always forget the name of the damn thing. Another physical modeling thing.
Oh, okay.
Below
Rings?
that is a
Rings.
Rings. I think it's rings.
Yeah.
Mutable rings. Below that is a mutable veils. So it's the 4.
So bottom right.
Bottom right, the 4 VCA thingamajigs there. Next to that is a Disty Mark IV.
Yep.
Next to that is what's that one Gaz always plays with? That's the 4 LFOs with the funny animated screen. I've used it for a while. I forgot the name of the damn thing.
Yeah, I remember too. I can't remember what's called either.
He was all hot for it for a while, and it's actually really cool. It's not animating right now, but you see the big LED light on it for the knob. But it's really cool because you can use it for sequencing, you can use it for LFOs, you can use it for all kinds of silly stuff. Next to that, I have the Make Noise Telharmonic, which is really clever, based on the old Telharmonium thing, but also has some FM and some Casio-like wavetable.
You can tell it's a Make Noise module with all the crazy paintwork on it.
Oh yeah, weird markups and stuff.
Yeah.
And then next to that, I have some clever modulation stuff. One is the Make Noise Wogglebug.
Yep, Wogglebug's awesome.
And Wogglebug, along with the one next to it that's also blinking away left
Is that
and
a
right.
Q plus?
No, it's so Wogglebug plus the one on the left basically makes the source of uncertainty for Buchla. Those
Oh,
two
okay.
together, you pretty
Yeah,
much
I know
get
what
the
you're talking
full
about now.
functionality of the
Yep.
Buchla source of uncertainty. It's it's a wired module. Has the old Griffin graphic on it. It's like really old school module. I forgot what the name of the damn thing is, but it's another modulation source, which is wacky. I can see that's going through some permutations there. Far left is the Batumi with the Poti.
Yep.
And next to that is something else that's blocked by wires. I can't see what it is.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Just some other crap. And then if you go down, this rack below has some stuff in it. Might be a little bit cut off. So I have some cool stuff. So there's the Variegate 4 going to town there vertically. A little barber pole
Now,
action.
just pause on that for a sec. The Variegate and so the 4 and the 8. Now they are really, really good modules. So if you ever want to get yourself a very flexible sequencer in your rack.
So this is the 4 Plus. The 4 doesn't have the start stop.
Yeah, you get any of the plus ones. I've got the 8 Plus. They are really, really good modules. And one of the things I love about both of them have got the same functionality is you can copy. So if you've set up like a sequence in one track, you can copy it from track to track just by holding down the track that you want to copy and then pressing the destination track. Is literally just a button press. It's so intuitive the way that they've made it, so you don't have to menu dive or any stupid crazy stuff like that. It's very cool. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, no problem. I don't remember what's to the left of that. To the right of that is
that just looks like a patch bay of some sort, doesn't it? Like a
something. Yeah, the very
That's
far
an
left
Erica.
is really cool.
That's an
No,
Erica
the very far
module.
left is a super modulation. Oh yeah, the left of that is a Polyvox Erica filter.
Right.
The far left is God, I forgot the name of the damn company that makes these things. They also make the
Is that like a
triple
Buffett malt?
sloths. You know, the triple
I know what you're
sloths?
talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
So that company makes the one on the left, which is really weird. It's called the Splosh.
Yeah.
Let's Splosh or
It's a
something
guy in
like
Australia
that. And
makes
it's
them. I think.
It's funky mathematical modulations.
Yeah, it's cool.
Patch
Yeah.
Bay gives you all kinds of weird math functions out of it, which is crazy.
Yep.
So that one's really clever. To the right of the Variegate is the Deptford Tritonium module. So I have the ribbon to Tritonium controller for it, which is really cool.
Yep.
To the right of that is the it's a vocal formant thingy by the same guys who make the Grendel. I forgot the name of the company. To the right of that is the what is that called? The wave folder. The first module I ever bought was the wave folder by it's not Pittsburgh. It's damn, I'm forgetting now. But it's Tip Top wave folder. And then to the right of that is the excellent SID station, or the SID Guts Deluxe.
Same as me.
Which is again a full voice, so it has the SID chip in there, effects, other oscillators as well in there to mix some noise and some other stuff. It's very, very clever. The gold thing on the right is clever. It's a ADAC super audio sampler playback thing with modulation up the butt, where you can just go really crazy with it. And it came with a card with all kinds of like samples like that's off the radio, and you can use it like a modular radio. Either load your own samples on there or the card stuff that's on there, and just tweak the crap out of stuff. Forward, backward, stuttering, jumping around, full modulation control. It's very, very clever, and it's fun because it's gold as well. And then on the bottom side, you got one of the original mutable clouds, because I wanted to have a few real mutable stuff.
Me too. Yeah, definitely worth getting.
It's just so big. Yeah, I don't want to get all mutable full size because they just take up too much room.
They are, but they're beautiful.
They are nice, yeah. And then next to that, I forgot what those are. I have a few weird things down there. You can see Tempe blinking away. They make noise Tempe. And we skipped it somewhere. I think it's in the other rack. The Pam's new workout I had in there as well with the expander. And then I got the frequency shifter down here.
Do you have the?
I've got.
Do you have the with the PAMs? Do you have the PX2 or the other one with the DIN? Where's your
Oh, I
PAMs?
got the one with the MIDI and the DIN.
Where's your PAMs?
It's a little
gone?
bit bigger module.
Where is it?
I think it's on the left side. The blinky next to the woggle bug. To the left side. Yellow cables in front of it. That's PAMs
okay.
and workout there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
Sorry, it has orange cables in front. Yeah, but and then the bottom, just a few more is some other funny. I have the. I did have some effects in here, but I moved it to a skiff. But at the very bottom, I also have the Paul Schreiber wave. It's the what is the damn thing? It's a wavetable oscillator. It's not the Morphing Terrarium. It's the other one. And you can step through a bunch of wavetables and such, and and a few other things in there. It's pretty cool. I have
Awesome.
a couple of the skips, and I have a couple other mini racks and stuff that have various other bits in it. So
All right.
it is a sickness, of course. So
It is, but don't worry because
It's an addiction. It's an addiction.
we are going to show the. I did promise you that we have to do it quickly because I'm running out of time. But we are going to show the studio of a famous synthesizer artist that I've got exclusive photographs for, and I guess you guys will probably already know who this is. This is
Yeah. Are we allowed to say?
Vangelis's Studios. Yeah, and I've got 38 photos to go through, so we don't need to zoom in because there's a lot of photos that will already zoom in, but you can just have a quick look at. I guess the thing that really stands out is these MIDI controllers that he's got above his main keyboards, and also down the bottom you'll see his array of foot pedals, and they are all labelled with Roman numerals, right? And they correspond. You'll see this later. So it's very intuitive. His setup. Now he's got this is kind of his mission control area. This is where he does most of his composing, but he's also got other sort of locations you can see behind. There's more stuff behind, and there's also another room as well. So this is his main one that he uses. So there's a close up of the MIDI controllers with the Roman numerals on the foot pedals, and they correspond to the actual MIDI controller itself. Like I said, you'll see more stuff where it's showing close-ups of this. Now, I love the double keyboard. You've got the smaller octave keyboard and, the major octave keyboard down the bottom. So that's awesome. And he was self-taught. He never had any formal lessons. Can you believe that? Like, he was self-taught, and the amount of stuff that he's done. There he is there. What this shows, I guess, though, is the connections on the back. So there's MIDI and audio connections and things like that on the back. There's a little fan just above on the little sort of, that's cute. What else we got? So you can see that's him working, right? These are great, these photos. So these were posted on social media a couple of days ago, and I just thought we have to grab these. There he is there. So there's going to be a lot of similar photos, but we're just getting different aspects. Some of them go back in time as well. You'll notice subtle differences in his setup. But also, too, you notice that he's got the, the Cronus on the right-hand side there.
Oh, yeah.
He was a big fan of, he had an M3 before the Kronos. He was a big fan of Korg workstations. I just want to put that out there. He loved the Korg workstations. I think that was probably a concert or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. As you can see, there's a lot of these sort of weird photos. It's good to see him, though. These are some more recent photos of him before he passed on. There you go. So you've got the continuum fingerboard there, guys. And that's his main his main keyboard that he is weighted and everything down below, but he's replaced that other keyboard that he had up there with this continuum fingerboard. So he was playing with that. Very interesting. That, by the way, if you ever want to know what those MIDI things are, there's some really interesting blog posts. We could probably go into it in another show, but they enable him to layer different sounds and map them across keyboards and things like that. It's really quite. Someone needs to do like his system in some sort of way. It's actually quite clever. Just different versions of the same photos. Some older photos, different chair. This is definitely older. You can tell by some of the effects things he's got there. So he's stuck with that MIDI setup for a long, long time. Obviously, served him well. Notice with the MIDI stuff too, you'll see that he can actually control just by pressing buttons. He doesn't have to go into a computer and program it or anything like that. He literally just presses buttons, and they can control notes and chord progressions and things like that. Someone needs to go and decipher some of his notation on these things, because it's almost like a symbol language or something. I'm not sure what he's used, but it's really cool. It's nice to see him at work. So a lot of people would kill to have a mixer like that too.
Looks like a big Mackie.
There's that shot of the pedals. And you can see, with the photos above, he used them a lot. So obviously sustains or some sort of modulation source. There's the big man. We'll miss him. I think this is some older photos. That's not him. What's going on? No, it's one of his helpers. I love seeing these photos. Like what I might do when this video finishes, I'll put a blog article up and I'll actually post all these photos, and you guys can go and zoom in on them and check them out. I'll chuck it on the blog article. But it's really nice to see all this sort of stuff. I think musicians should do more of this sort of stuff. Show their setups. Show how they work. Actually, go back to that one. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? So I don't know if you could see that, but it's got things like violin half tone written on there, and strings and things like that. And see how you've got G1, G, VI up the top, like they correspond to those pedals. So there's a few sort of keys that you can work out, and you can see on the right hand side he's got that symbolism again, which someone needs to tell us how that works. Like there are some crazy symbols there, right?
One looks like the top of a cello.
You need a Rosetta Stone for his thing.
Yeah, let's just see if we can. This one is actually a pretty good photo, actually. Oh, that's not the right one. Zoom in on this. There we go. So you can see solo violin.
Solo, yeah.
Cover pots. I don't know what that means. Someone will work it out. Look into the abyss. JD. I don't know what it says after the JD, but
JB 1080 Roland.
Yeah, it might be. And then there's terminate. Orchestral kit. So he's got some. Oh, he. This is the thing. When you listen to his music, he triggers these orchestral drums and things all the time throughout his composing. And so that orchestral kit would probably be, something that we would all have in one of our workstations. It may well be the Korg, workstation orchestral kit. It might be the Roland one. I'd say, as a guessing man, I'd say it's probably the Roland one. you know, those the JV cards that you got. Wind ensemble, solo violin. Yeah, really interesting. All MIDI based. Some even closer. So you can see obviously that's FX, some sort of FX thing. But he'd know what all this means. Hopefully you told someone. There's those buttons I was telling you about. How look at that. Look at that screen down the bottom, guys. Vangelis set up. Copyright August 2012. So this is his own. He's basically invented this, right? Like I said, someone needs to, you know, to check into it and find out if there's anything really useful that the world can benefit from. So there's it packing up some of his gear here, which is a little bit sad to see. Lots more of those.
You can tell he used the setup on the Alexander soundtrack because it was a lot more freeform than his usual stuff.
Yeah. So these MTM8 slave cards, it kind of almost looks like the CMI stuff, doesn't it? It has that kind of that feel. I know someone in chat will probably be able to tell us. They're probably screaming at us. I haven't even looked at the chat at all. Sorry, chatties. I've been too busy looking at it.
It looks like lab equipment.
So see this guy. See what I was telling you about how he just has to press a few buttons and he can get different, you know, bass chord progressions and stuff. See that? That is genius. So he does that, and then it literally sets up, you know, his keys and the splits and things like that. It's all done through this. It's really, really clever. These are just some of his racks. Some probably need to zoom in on some of these. I think Roland, a lot of Roland gear here.
760, JV 1080, Super JD.
Let's see if we can zoom.
Nice.
Now, so there's your Roman numerals. See, so they correspond to what he's, you know. So it all makes sense. It's all been labelled. Super JD. So there you go. There's an idea of what sounds he's used. There is your key there. He's a big Roland guy. So a big JD and a big JV sound. What is that Akai? Is that like a... I don't know what the Akai is, guys. Can you guys recognise that Akai thing up the top there?
I think Robbie's got one. Whoa. Does that say Z6 on it? No, I don't know because this is writing.
You said Z5 or Z6.
Z5, yeah. So what does that do? Is that like an effects module or something, is it? There's another one in the other rack too.
Think it looks a bit synthy.
Yeah,
synthy?
Different, isn't it?
Yeah. Now I think this is the last photo. Yeah, so there's...
Oh, some emus. Nice.
Emus and... I don't know, some of these may have been taken... Oops, wrong one. Some of these may have been taken a bit... Like these look like older photos, these ones. Because they're very grainy. But yeah.
Proteus,
yeah. Very interesting, isn't it, to do this? And it's kind of sad. That's it, guys, from the Vangelis stuff. But it's kind of sad seeing all that, and you know that he's not around anymore.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of those photos were taken when he was still around, and he would have wanted us to see that. I know that, you know, from what I know about the man, he was, you know, he was very... wanted us to know what his passions were, and you know, people that worked with him. He had, you know, he obviously was eccentric and he had his ways, but that he definitely wanted us to know how he made his sounds, and he was very humble about it too. So you know, if you're a fan of his music, you've got a really good insight from that. And like I said, I'll put each one of those, just like 40 something photos or 38 photos or something. I'll chuck them up on the blog article. You guys can go check them out. Because some people put them on social media and they disappear, so I'll chuck them up on my website. They'll stay up there forever. Now, I don't know who owns the photos, so if anyone is watching this and you are the owner of those photos and you have a problem, let me know. I will give you credit if there's anything there. But hopefully that you're okay to share that, because, like I said, the world needs to benefit from the knowledge of the big man. What do you guys think of Vangelis' studio?
Oh, I mean, I love it. I mean, I don't want it to be dismantled, and that's a worry. I mean, yes, it'd be nice if we could go and see it, but that turns it into a museum, and I'm sure he may have wanted that, but it would be better if it was given to a local university or something like that, where students can go and use it or something like that. But try and kept as he last had it, but used really,
Yeah, when they sold the Tonto rig, it stayed together, so they should be able to keep this one together.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if they move it into a university or a college setting sort of thing,
So I think that was in Athens, wasn't it? That's his.
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he lived in Athens at the end. I'm not sure. Anyway, someone will tell us where he finished up, but. Wherever that is, like you said, Ian, hopefully someone isn't going in there and gutting it out and it all ends up on eBay or something stupid. We want, people to be guarding that and preserving it and protecting it. Yeah. Yes. Right. Well, that's it. That's Subscriber Studios. And unfortunately, Vangelis wasn't a subscriber. We are not worthy.
He's an honorary subscriber.
Yeah.
An honorary subscriber.
We're going to miss him, that's for sure. If you kind of got a little buzz out of that, go and get yourself Roland Cloud and play around with some of the JV stuff in Roland Cloud. You'll orchestral stabs and things like that. You'll be able to make yourself some Conquest of Paradise or whatever, some sort of tune that you might sort of gravitate towards from the old days. Any last minute sort of comments before we wrap the show up, guys? Darren's muted. You can do ventriloquism, right? Oh,
I tried, but it didn't work.
Oh, okay. Your XP50 can do a lot of those sounds, the JV sounds.
Yes, it can. Well, it's a JV. It's a JV80, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
You get that Integra thing, it does all that stuff.
Yeah, well, you got the cloud now anyway, so you don't really need any of those anymore. Yes, it looks like we've just had good old Chris jump in. He's probably just woken up. He's probably just had a stretch, got himself a coffee, and he's just jumped into the chat. It's nice to see Chris there. I think it's this button here. He's just watching the beginning. It is that time of the world in his part of the world. Right, I am going to end the show because I'm getting tired and I'm starting to mince my words. I've been doing it all show anyway.
Sorry.
Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the show, do the usual things to support the channel. Don't forget we've got the new IRC channel out. irc.synthgeekery.com if you want to join that. If you're not interested in the old ways, you've got Discord, you've got YouTube chat, that's all there as well. So definitely check that out. Otherwise, big thanks to all these gentlemen here and then down here, and Brooksy and Andy and Darren and Ian again. Awesome to have you guys on the show. Much appreciate your support. This show wouldn't be anything without you, so please give yourself a pat on the back, and I appreciate giving your free time up for your lovely Saturday. Awesome.
Yeah, it was great, Ranzee. It's fantastic.
I'm not going to be here next Saturday, Ranz. I just should let you know that. Next Saturday, I'm going with Jim Glue and Neil Wharton to the Gearfest event, which Robbie Puricelli's at. I think it's a Sound on Sound event of some kind. That's in London somewhere. So I've got my ticket for that. I shall be at that. Now, Jim's quite good with his technology, so we might be able to do a sort of a jump in and go, hi, this is us at the Roland stand, or whatever.
Yeah, do it.
I can't promise because I'm stupid with things like that. So.
Well, tell Jim
Have him
to
show some carpet
contact
at
me
the
during the
Gear
week,
Fest.
and we'll tee it up. Yeah,
Yeah, Andy.
yeah. I was going to say, I think next week, and I don't want to get shot down for saying this, but I think we've got Lisa on next week. Lisa is inky, so
Oh, I'm going to miss it. Oh, well, that'll be... Sorry, Lisa, I'm not going to be here. Sorry.
And I'm going to try
right.
and meet up with you guys in London.
oh, awesome.
Are you
So
down there?
I'm there. Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, cool, Ian. Yeah, do.
Yeah.
I'll ping you my mobile number so you can send us a text. Going, I'm
Yeah.
standing by the coffee stand or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I've got a red rose on. You can recognise me. Yeah, no, that'd be good actually.
Red on a yellow umbrella or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And thanks everyone in chat. Nice to have you guys in as part of the show. Always awesome to listen to your comments, watch your comments and all that sort of stuff. On that note, we are going to all watch this lovely little credit thing because I think these people are awesome as well. Big thank you to Patreons. And also don't forget our channel members. Got Brooksy there now, look at that. Dizzy Heights, mate. Good name. And a big thank you for Plugin Guru for the sponsorship of the Name That Synth. We didn't have a winner this week. Anyway, all the best. Hope you have an awesome weekend. We are all going to say toodaloo. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Tra.